All right, I'm ready. Drew's ready.
Okay. Welcome and hello, my nerd friends. We are fucking here. I am, well, not fucking, but we are here talking about anime. My name is Aldo Mendez. Here, my co-host, Drew is.
Hey guys, Drew Philip Elias, co-host of Between Nerds podcast. Welcome to a special season 3 finale episode. This is our episode 90.5. Anybody that's been listening to us for a while, which is all of like 6 people, we appreciate you, number one.
A lot of people are not other places, but we don't know them personally.
Number 2, at the end of every season, which is a 30-episode season since the inception of Between Nerds podcast, me and Oldo sit down for a special bonus episode where we recoup on the current state of the podcast, because we're the president of this bitch, we're the president of this shit.
Yeah. Number
1, number 2, we will recap or go over some past feelings on previous episodes. Looking forward and shitting on Death Note one more time. That's going to be hella fun.
And if this is one of the episodes that you only listen to, maybe you're just like, oh, they have a recap every 30 episodes, then maybe I'm just gonna watch. Listen to that. Now you can watch it on YouTube. But
I have heard nerds tell me that. I think I was at TCG Battleground over at the east side of El Paso, over on the Zaraplex, owned by Jacob Unwell's friend of the pod. Mm-hmm. I had people ask me, what episode should I listen to then if I'm interested in getting into Between Nerds? And I told them, I think our season 2 recap had just happened at the time. I was like, that's the one you should watch. Like, if you're going to listen to the banter and just like shitting on things, or us like fucking fangirling about
whatever best
Taxi,
or,
yeah. Like this should be the episode you're listening to.
Mm-hmm. And if you do, please let us know what you guys think about our initial thoughts on those anime that we fully reviewed last season. But yeah, what else? What we talk about this episode being really good because it's we get to think about what we're gonna do about Between Nerds and on.
Uh-huh.
You know,
in the past like 5 weeks, me and Aldo have been bitching nonstop about like 5 weeks, like 3 months. We've been bitching about people bitching about. We've been bitching about people not using our nonprofit hashtags.
Correct. And that's why we're gonna fucking get the hashtag, put it in a bag in luggage, and put it in some closet to collect dust.
We're axing the giveaway. Because
86ing that the hashtag.
Because after like a dozen or so giveaways, when it comes to interactive members of the community, I guess we've run out. Like we have, I was talking about this on the episode we recorded on Monday. We have people in France and Australia, but it seems like they're like passively listening. They don't want to be an active part of the community, which sucks because like not only was your goal, it was your idea at the time, Aldo, that you wanted to give back to the community, the local nonprofit community here in El Paso.
Correct.
But it helps us because, you know, we are content creators and we're trying to promote ourselves at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So I think to that end, we're going to replace it.
Yeah. Replace it? I wouldn't say replace it. I would say we'll put it on the bag. But with the giveaway, like you were saying, we will. Oh,
we're not replacing the giveaway.
Yeah, we're not replacing the giveaway. The giveaway's staying. But, like, again, the giveaway is going to be now up to us and not up to you guys. Well, pretty much up to you guys. If you guys have any feedback on it, we're going to look, hey, that guy had something else to say besides that we didn't get his favorite anime.
So, I think a big part of it is going to come down to what Aldo's saying. It's going to be his discretion. It's people that participate in discourse with us, whether or not that's sending productive emails, social media posts, like DMing us directly. Like, you don't have to promote yourself in our network if you don't want to, but
and we will reply in show
absolutely
to you. We're not gonna just listen, like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think a big part of it is going to come down to our focus when it comes to the giveaway is going to be if you leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. We will include you as probably the front runner to our monthly giveaway. Or if you both comment on an episode that comes out that month and are a subscriber and you've not previously won a giveaway, we're more than welcome to get you some free hand-picked nerd shit that is tailor chosen to your nerd appetite. You like One Piece, we'll get you One Piece. You like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we'll get you some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
You like the, I don't know, fucking Death Note. Fucking, we'll get you some Death Note.
We've gotten Dragon Ball giveaways.
Remember the candy tin I got for
you were
Grave of the Fireflies?
You were really excited about that one, and Jay got that one. Jay Alejandro Garcia got that one.
That one's really nice. But we're not gonna forget about Nerds for Autism this month.
Right. So we're gonna finish out the month of April.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you do want to enter the giveaway for the month of April, go ahead and use hashtag Nerds for Autism in an original tweet, Instagram post, or YouTube comment to be entered into our April giveaway. And for every like and retweet on said tweets, Instagram posts, or YouTube comments, we will be donating to the Autism Society of El Paso. So excited about that one.
Yes.
We'll see how it goes.
And we are on week 3 of our fucking theme month.
Sports month. Hell yeah.
You know?
April Madness.
This is being recorded to you on a Wednesday, April 14th. Are they going to get access to it tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yeah, we'll put it out on Friday, yeah.
Okay.
So you're probably listening to this on the 15th.
Cool. And, fuck, man, it's been a long-ass season. We were talking about just off mic about it being 30 fucking...
It feels longer. Like 30, like we're encompassing a season that's 30 weeks, right? And we really do record every week. And season 3, more than any other season, really shows like how good we're almost getting at like podcasting. Like we're like, think what you think of the content, but we're really good about getting
Think
it.
what you think about
Think what you think about the content.
And tell us.
But we're getting really good at making sure that we do put out an episode every week. Like the episodes are not short anymore. They like halfway through season 3, we really got in this attitude, or like I don't know how we did it, but like from like episode 40 onward, every episode's almost 3 hours long, if not longer. And because we've gotten really good at like discussing and like debating these things.
It's because there's so much to talk about, man. Especially with really good anime, you get like we were talking about sound direction last week with Hanabado, but like when else do we talk about sound direction in an anime?
Never.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild. It's there's a lot of anime we still have to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what kind of sucks, because I do want to get the community more involved, which means I want to reintroduce the polls on Twitter, which I'm down to do even more often. I can do 2 or 3 a week, I don't care, or do them so far ahead of time that me and Aldo have time to watch those seasons ahead of time if we need to, if we're ahead on schedule when it comes to our watch throughs. But it seems like me and Aldo almost like taking the reins in season 3 kind of made it better, and that's why we're able to do like these 3-hour 4-hour episodes, because it's like, dog, what do you want to watch next week? Like what do you want to watch? Like just tell me what you're down to talk about, and we can make it happen. And like it's helped so much in like a weird way, but then that sucks because then we're not including our audience as much, so then I'm torn.
Yeah, and it's weird to me because I'm like, okay, you guys want the polls back. Why not just suggesting your favorite anime and then we'll put it on the fucking thing instead of your anime losing? And like we have revisited losing anime
on the
polls before. That was a weird week. That was a weird.
What was it?
I can't remember, dude. But I remember having a bad time. I think it was during season 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, okay, that's what I think. Wolf Children was one of them.
Oh
was
god, fuck. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But fuck, man, we've seen
we said a lot of things. I do want to take it at the top though, because I thought this was hilarious when you reminded me of it. The first episode of season 3 of Between Nerds podcast, episode 61, was Death Note. And I remember 2 weeks out, Aldo like getting on my ass, being like, we need to sit down and watch the almost 50 episodes that is Death Note. I don't give a fuck what your excuses are. We're fucking watching Death Note. And in the back of my head, I'm like, Death Note's like famously one of the worst endings of like the early 2000s really big anime. Yep. And I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if you had finished that at the time, and I just kept it to myself. Like I remember dreading going into that week, because not only are you working me like a damn slave, and you got me in here recording 2 episodes a week.
Maybe I blocked it off from my memory, and I just thought it was just like the first L section.
I feel like I knew it too, and I remember being mad at you that week. I really do remember being mad at you.
We also watched it with Valentin, right? Or no?
No, but it was Valentin's suggestion.
You're right.
Would you hate Valentin's suggestions?
I don't hate him. He just doesn't have any good ones.
he doesn't have any good opinions on it. Yeah. I love Valentin to death, and I know the kind of things he watched. It's really, really popular anime that came on Adult Swim and Toonami in the mid 2000s. I know exactly what it is. It's gonna be Soul Eater. It's gonna be Death Note. It's gonna be Yu Hakusho. I know the exact animes that he's fans of. Okay, I understand that. But I remember you being so naggy and so about it, and like trying to cram 50 episodes in like a week and a half. And I remember being at the car wash the day before we were gonna record. I remember you texting me and being like, yo, Death Note is kind of ass. And I remember, I felt like all that stress just like lifted from myself. I'm like, okay, I'm no longer mad at Aldo this week. The minute you texted me that, I was like, yes, it's garbage, blah, 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 blah. And I remember you telling me that you thought the intro song sucked. And I remember that was the only thing I reneged on. I was like, this song is famous.
You mean the metal one, right?
Right, the second intro. The second intro to Death Note.
Correct. Yeah, the second intro. Man, and I guess I was so upset about like how they fucked it all up, because the first half of the anime is pretty good.
Right. It's cool as long as L's in it.
Yeah.
As long as L is in Death Note, I think it's an excellent, high stakes like anime.
And we're not hyping L here. We're not putting him on a pedestal. He's an okay character.
I think it's the writing. Because
but the writing,
you, like,
it's
scared
good
as an audience. It's like watching Breaking Bad. It's like you're always half a step from the main character getting exposed.
But then they kill him off, and then they just bring in a different kind of L. And
yeah,
just
two of them.
That's right.
Two of them. In Death Note, I remember being a really hot take at the time. I remember Valentin texting me being like, what the fuck, you guys don't like Death Note? And I was like, oh, we like it for X, Y, and Z reasons, but as a whole, you should probably rewatch it.
And we don't do this enough, like, to fucking talk on mic about how really we want to say shit about this, but because we respect our viewers, or our listeners, that somehow you guys fucking requested this anime. And don't get me wrong, I've seen already too much anime to even hate a bad anime.
And don't get me wrong, we had to watch it. Like, if we're gonna be talking about like the history of anime, especially like as we experienced it in North America, we have to watch Death Note. So don't get me wrong, we would have gotten to this at some point. It's just crazy that it has to come on the back of a suggestion. And for somebody like Aldo, who was really excited going into that week, just leaving it disappointed. But like a lot of our episodes, like even if you aren't like a huge fan of the season, the act of talking about it makes you like it more.
Correct, because it's the shitty things. Like, I'm not saying what is the one that I really like with the guy and the Imperial weapons.
What?
The guy, Akame got killed.
Akame got killed. Yes.
Akame got killed.
Yes.
Like, it has its many flaws as an anime, but the flaws are so tropey.
Yeah.
That it just makes for a Sharknado effect.
Yeah, just like this perfect blend of shittiness that's like enjoyable. Yeah. Like, fuck, I don't think we had one of those this season. That's what kind of sucks.
No, we didn't.
What's something so shitty that we absolutely loved it? I can't think about it off the top of my head.
If anything, I really...
No Game, No Life, maybe?
Redline was not...
Redline's amazing.
No, Redline's amazing, but that was the most...
Mid.
Animated... No.
Okay.
It was good. It was just the most cartoony we watched.
Yeah.
Like the most like space dandy kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was bad, but it was like...
Because it's
super like...
Right. So if you're trying to break it down as like a real feature-length film, you're going to be like, well, what's the character's motivation? Like if you're trying to break it down like a
the Ninja Scroll fan.
Yeah. If you're trying to break it down like a literary feat, you cannot think highly of something like Redline. But Redline is amazing because it's a feat in animation production. Like it's a miracle it was even created altogether, and it's like I trying to segue back. I think that's why it reminds me of Death Note a little bit, even though you brought it up, because like Death Note is a vibe. You know what I mean? The more you sit down and try to think about why did he do that? How did he not get caught here? You start noticing like narrative write-ins that write the characters out of a dangerous situation, and that sucks. Like that really sucks because it feels like cheap writing, and something that and I feel like Death Note doesn't get away with that because something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure gets away with it because you know how Araki is.
Like, you know what you're walking into.
Right, you know it's supposed to be just wild ass shit, and it's kind of bad writing. Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is good because it's
how off the shits is.
Yeah, but like if you really try to sit down and break it down, it's bad. Well, that's not what I'm trying to say, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Sorry, side tangent. I feel like since we started talking about trying to monetize on YouTube, and I use a lot of profanity, I feel like my brain just went into like, just say a lot more profanity.
You started cursing.
Yeah,
you started cursing. Okay,
exactly.
Just so we're clear, like
exactly.
So just so our audience is aware, although the reason why we've been so into video production lately. In barely any video production, like my fucking iPhone is sitting on a stand and I'm staring.
It's doing good. It's doing good so far. We can have some lights, guys. We can have some better camera soon.
Well, a really big part of why we're trying to do this is because Aldo was Google-fying some shit, and he realized and came with me at the idea that the easiest way to monetize something like a podcast is through YouTube, because even advertising on like Podbean or something, they'd be inserting an ad at the end of our episodes that gives us like a code, and then we get a percentage money for each code use, right? YouTube will start interjecting ads based on
how much you guys like us.
Yeah, a subscriber
or
count.
hate us.
So to get monetized on YouTube, we would need 1,000 subscribers. We have 6. Good for us. And we need to be able to get like what, 10,000 views in 24 hours?
No.
Is it more?
No, less.
Less?
You're crazy. Yeah.
It's more than 10,000.
No.
4,000. So we would need to get 4,000 views in 24 hours.
A year.
In a year?
Yes.
24 public watch hours.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
And we have plenty of hours. Maybe not so much on video, but we want to give you that on YouTube, so that's why we're using Drew's phone for maybe 3 hours at a time.
We want to get stage lights next. We want to get these 2 big ass fucking Halo lights. So you guys just
don't see like green weirdos.
Because like we like this. Don't get us wrong. Like a lot of these color vibes, which we started doing this season when you think about it, which was like when we moved to in here.
Oh, with the lights.
Death Note, we were still at your house.
Yeah.
At your last house.
Yeah,
so like part of season 3 was we started recording at my house.
And we're just doing
and you had a light strip, which the audience never saw except for like that one episode that's on YouTube.
Correct.
So this is how me and Aldo record. Like if you guys are watching us on YouTube, we have these LED light bulbs that I'm showing like really dim, like blues and greens, right? Because this is how the vibe we've always recorded. Like we sit down, we chill out, and
we tried many colors.
It's a vibe.
This one
right.
set the mood.
If we opened a bar, it would be these fucking colors in there.
Definitely.
But so we didn't want to give that up. We didn't want to give up the fun of recording, right? But we do want to remind you all that we are trying our best at the end of the day. So we want to keep upping the production, which Aldo was telling me when he walked through the door today, which I agree with. Because like something I've been bitching about that I think we really like desperately need is at least a second mic, if not 2 more mics.
And if you guys can just give us a like.
Yeah.
And watch us.
Just help us out, boost us up. But like the thing about the mic that we use, it's a $200 mic, which we love. We love this it's
been so good except for the one time it fell.
Yeah, last week. Well, this week, Monday.
Yeah.
But we would want 2 more of those. So for now, we're just going to keep upping our production quality when it comes to other things that we can't afford at the time. And we'll keep improving and improving because it's not fair for us to be expecting so much from our audience when maybe we're not putting in that same effort.
And as far as our conversations, I mean, I think our meat of every episode is really good. If you are trying to listen to an anime conversation, and this is gonna get more interesting once you guys send us your favorite anime
and your feedback, any feedback, bro,
or any
feedback.
But like when there's an interested nerd across these cameras and networks, if he or she or they them say their suggestions, they'll walk into a conversation that it's a good conversation. We're not shedding on you. We're trying to tell you what.
Honestly, I don't think we've shit on any things enough this season.
No,
like I'm going through this list, and they're all really great things. So we had 3 episodes about Yu Hakusho this season.
Yes, sir.
With our friend Roby Quintela. And what's crazy is episode 62, talking about the first season of Yu Hakusho, that was the first time we met Roby. Like, Roby is somebody that was really friendly towards us on social media, was liking and retweeting things, giving us positive feedback and constructive criticism, and he was down to meet up with us. And, like, he didn't look like some fucking weirdo on the internet, so we met up with him, and we made a friend. You know what I mean?
And he's a nurse, he's a great guy. And he was at my son's birthday party, you know?
He's a nerd or a nurse?
A nurse and a nerd.
I heard both.
A nurse.
A nerds.
Nerds. But he's really cool. Hopefully we're gonna all go camping later this year in the summer. You know, that's gonna be dope. But yeah, Roby's really cool. And we're just trying to meet cool nerds that like anime.
If you're not a fucking weirdo and you're in the El Paso area, we're more than welcome to discuss things with you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just
wear deodorant, take a shower. Everything good.
I want to go back into Yu Hakusho for a bit. Season 1 was hella fun, right? I remember talking about one of the favorite character outfits I'd seen on anybody in forever was the latter half of the first part of Yu Hakusho when Botan is her name? Is in like a leather biker outfit?
Suit? Yeah.
Yeah, you knew exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, hell yeah. So, and I remember loving it at the time because I remember really good things about Yu Hakusho up to the Dark Tournament Saga. I really did. And then we watched season 2 of the Dark Tournament Saga with Roby, and that one was a really hard one to schedule around because we knew we wanted to do that episode. We knew we wanted Roby back.
But she looks like this girl. What's her name? From Misato?
Misato from
NGE?
Yeah. But hold on. So
I'm sorry.
The thing about watching the Dark Tournament Saga is we planned like movie weeks ahead of that, right? We did like 2 weeks of movies before we did that episode so that we could watch the 54 episodes that is the Dark Tournament Saga, and we loved it. We came away from season 2 of Yu Hakusho feeling so good about that. And like last month, no, the month before last, we watched season 3 of Yu Hakusho.
Not very eventful.
And that shit was ass.
Not very eventful, yeah.
Like, I don't think it for all the gripe we give ourselves about not having finished yet Hunter x Hunter, not having finished yet JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, we've watched most of Yu Hakusho in the last 30 weeks. And that shit was disappointing as fuck.
A lot of episodes. No, in season 3... and there's a point that you're like, fuck, why would you blame them from trying to market the hell out of, like, Yu Hakusho? It just felt so, not rushed, but it seemed like he just wanted to milk it a little bit more than he had to.
Yeah, even Roby in our season 3 discussion was like, oh, well, you guys are going to hate season 4 even more because it feels even more rushed. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Don't even tell me that. Because I'm never going to finish Yu Hakusho now. Like, I'm never going to go out of my way to watch it now. And that sucks.
Because, did it finish?
Yeah, it finished. But we didn't watch season 4. We haven't watched season 4.
Hit me with that Juju shit, dog.
I will not hit you with that Yu shit. But, like, same thing. If anybody wants to watch some cool stuff with us, let us know. And that reminds me that also part of this season was we start and finish the entirety of the Fruits Basket anime with Rachel this season.
Yeah, and that's something that works in a weird way because we liked first season, we hated second season, we liked the third season.
Right.
You know?
Well, I was going to talk about just the juxtaposition. I don't know what we were on 30 weeks ago, where we were like, nah, we're just going to do episodes with friends. We're going to make new friends. We'd never had Rachel on the podcast before episode 64.
Well, that was your idea.
Was it my idea?
Yeah, that was your idea.
For me.
Because, yeah, good.
Listen, everyone, Aldo's giving me credit.
Yeah, it kind of, I half credit because it kind of messed up our March Madness.
Fuck you.
Our March Madness month, but we did it in April. But next year, guys, it's gonna be a whole month of March Madness with basketball and Drew.
But think about how much fun we've had, like, with our friends this season.
No, I do.
Like, we've had CJ on for like 6-7 episodes. We've had Rachel on for at least 3.
He's like the person that watches the most anime out of everybody close.
Absolutely. Honestly, like as a little bit of a spoiler for the episode that's coming out Monday, I kind of wish we'd asked Rachel to watch Free with us.
Yes.
Free Iwatabi High School. The swimming anime that we're watching for our April Madness. I wish we'd asked Rachel. I wish I knew more about it before I started planning it.
Honestly, I've never it's almost like a hidden red flag of an anime to serve you something with a aspect of like, oh, it's a swimming anime. I'm interested in swimming. I'm gonna watch this. No, you're wrong.
There's not even any swimming.
You're wrong.
There's not even any swimming.
But okay, that's it. That's it about that.
That's it. But anyways, so we're super grateful to Rachel for coming out with us. Like, I'm excited for the Fruits Basket movie to come out. If anything, just to do an episode about it. I don't even, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I liked the final season of Fruits Basket a lot. I really, really did. Do I think it's in a top 10 discussion? Fuck no. I really don't. I don't get why nerds are rating bombing the shit out of it on my anime list, because it's not in the top 10 of anything. It's really not.
No, it's not.
It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It's solid. It's like a maybe. Right? But it's not the end-all, be-all of anime. Like, go touch grass. Like, it's fine.
We got into a lot of other conversations during season 3 as far as, like, the at the time. It was October 11, and the hype around the new Matrix movie was coming out.
Yeah, so we did watch the Animatrix, which came out in, like, 2003.
Which was good.
And it's a conglomeration of like different
studios.
Like different anime studios.
Just like our next episode, Star Wars Visions.
Right, producing Matrix works. And I thought it was really cool at the time. I thought it was super dope. It sucks that the newest Matrix was absolutely terrible.
Oh, it wasn't an absolute. Wait,
it's really boring. It's really, really boring.
It's just there for like
the cash grab.
Yeah,
it's just there for nostalgia bait. That's all it is. But like the Animatrix does not feel like that at all. Like, we got a lot of really cool stories, unique animations, especially for 2003. The animation styles and the animation quality, like, fuck the styles. The quality of each of these different animation products looks groundbreaking for 2003. I cannot believe it took. I still have to bitch about Studio Mappa and the way it models the Colossal Titan.
It's like Matrix
in 2022, and I'm like, dog, just go watch the Animatrix.
The box of scrap.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. And to your point, Aldo, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like Visions was great.
No, and I want to talk. And I want to
okay.
And I want to talk about the last episode of the Animatrix, which I think it resonates with what you just said. The 3D modeled, fully 3D modeled fucking episode.
Amazing.
You could see stretch marks on some cheeks, and you could see some sweat. And I'm not saying that's very important to me, but like animation wise,
hey, stretch marks mean she's healthy. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's great. It's because what it is, I think the episode you just, if I'm remembering incorrectly, just describe.
I barely remember.
I think it's the one where it's like the kung fu scene from the first Matrix movie, except it's these two other characters training entirely in 3D modeling inside of the dojo, inside of the lake in the water, like from Matrix 1, except like they're breaking everything. And the girl you're describing, they must have spent weeks just animating her glutes for whatever reason, especially in 2003
because she's losing her clothing as they're fighting. I remember now.
It's crazy. It's like what's it called? What's that Netflix series where they just show bad things that are going to happen with technology? Black Mirror.
Oh yes.
It's like that Black Mirror episode where the two dudes just play a virtual reality like fighting game just to hook up with each other in the game. It's like that, but the Matrix.
And fucking also Matrix, the Animatrix had an episode that resonates a lot with Star's Visions because they have a samurai fucking theme to it, and I think it was both episodes of the first. I think it was the first episode of both shows.
I can't remember. So Star Wars Visions.
The first episode had the samurai guy.
Well, I don't even remember.
You don't remember the one that you didn't like? The one that was like black and white.
Oh, I hated that one.
Yeah,
hated that one. So it looks like what's that very famous like old school Japanese movie? It's a numbered samurai.
13
Samurai?
No, 47 Ronin? No.
Yes.
13 Ronin? Or
whatever you're
like
talking
that?
about. Yes, that
Yes.
thing. The episode 1 of Star Wars Visions is like a black and white recreation of just that, except it's one guy. It's like, think Samurai Champloo or Afro Samurai, but like it's like trying to cover up really cheap 3D animation with stylized colored pencil, black and white. I don't know. It looks really bad. But what I do appreciate about Star Wars Visions is that they're all non-canon. Like, it's just Disney telling 4 different studios, like, hey, you can use our IP, make 30 minutes of whatever the fuck you want, which I absolutely adore because I think some of my favorite episodes were the Studio Mappa episodes. And I give Mappa a lot of shit a lot of the time. I just bitched about the final season of Attack on Titan. But, like, no, I'm not thinking of Mappa. Who am I thinking of? I was thinking of the Studio Trigger episodes. The ones that look like Promare.
Yes.
Right?
You were sad about those episodes.
No, I love those episodes.
You love those.
I like those episodes a lot. Because I'm literally wearing a Gurren Lagann shirt.
Nice.
And we talked about Gurren Lagann in season 2. But Gurren Lagann was produced and directed by a director that created a studio called Studio Trigger, which also produced a movie that we watched this season called Promare, where Studio Trigger's trademarks are like really bright colors, non-uniform character modeling, and like just really
a lot of like almost like South Parky geometry around. But like obviously now with like
it's always
cardboard board.
It's always like batshit crazy sci-fi. It's like sci-fi so crazy and not scientific that it's almost fantasy.
Yeah, but again, what I was talking about was the animation where it has a lot of close angles, like with its animation. It doesn't really have a lot of curvature to its animation. It's mostly
a lot of hard lines.
Yeah, a lot of hard lines in there, like
a lot of
reds.
reds.
Yeah,
a lot of bright pinks.
And that's what almost Promare looks like, as well.
Just supposed over blacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Except like smart use of CGI in Promare. But Star Wars Visions is a lot more than just the Studio Trigger episodes. It just got announced yesterday for season 2. So I'm super excited about that. And I hope they bring on the same studios. I hope they don't try to do like a new batch of studios, try to keep them in-house or something like that, or ask the studios to make more canon stories, because that's not fun.
Yeah.
The fun of Star Wars Visions is it's like there's
off the shit.
Yeah, there's whole episodes that look like
the Mega Man animator one. Ooh, that one was
That's
sick.
what I was gonna bring up too. The one that looks like
what was it? R8 or something.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's like this little boy that looks like a little. How do I describe it? He looks like he's from Astro Boy almost, except he's blue. It's about this little robot boy becoming a Jedi, and that's like my favorite thing because my favorite Star Wars stories.
T0B1
Toby.
Yeah.
Who's the studio? Because they were a big studio. I remember that.
Yeah, I got it for you right now. Hold
on. And the thing about the episodes of Star Wars Visions, like Toby, is that it grew as like somebody that grew up with the prequels, right? Like
Saurus? I remember this name. Saurus Toby is the most wholesome episode in Star Wars Visions, according to CBR.com.
And the thing about this episode is that it how do I put it? Like, as somebody that grew up with the prequels, right? Like, I understand I'm not old enough to have experienced the main trilogy first, but
in their maximum glory.
Right, but as a kid, the fun part about the prequels is it really feels like it's about a kid, some nobody, just being gifted and being born into the Force and becoming it. Right, but that's the difference I'm saying is like this watching Toby and watching somebody, anybody, literally that's somebody that's not even human or like a living being, becoming attuned to the Force and becoming a full-fledged Jedi is amazing. I think that's a really cool story. I think some of the episodes were really, really big duds. Like, I remember the very last episode being a dud because it made zero sense, because it's about some guy turning to the dark side to save his girl, who he ends up killing anyways, which is the exact same plot to episode 3 of the prequels. So it's like, you didn't do your homework, bro. Like, you didn't make an original story. You tried to copy one of the things that already exist. So, but either way, super excited about Star Wars Visions, and a big part of why we watch both the Animatrix and Star Wars Visions is I'm obsessed with anime, right? And I don't want to get down the rabbit hole that is really, really, really mainstream pop culture talk. Like, I want us to have a niche, whatever that is, and I want to.
Someone would say.
Absolutely not. Nobody says that.
Niche. It's
but
French.
but I want to be watching things that like we can create a unique take on based off our previous experience. And I feel like even though these are Western productions technically, I feel like they fit in that category.
Absolutely. And I mean, also like the Airbender. I mean, I'm sure we have to watch that at some point. It's related to this anime conversation we have, and even though if it's not, Japanese produced.
I do like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I really do. But we were talking about Redline earlier.
Yes.
We already spoiled part of this conversation. I'm just now realizing that we co-titled it Squid Game because we had like half the episode was our Squid Game discussion.
Is there?
Which again, like that fits in our wheelhouse. We're obsessed with Asian media in general. Like I understand it's a South Korean production. It's not Japanese like we're just bitching about, but
yeah. And no, and and on the Nerd Downs we talk about like the shit that's going on and what's popular or not. You know what I'm saying? We missed. We're gonna have a big nerd down if we don't speak about it right now today about Moon Knight next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that shit. And we talk about Marvel shows, but we don't want to be redundant because you have 50 other fucking channels, 100 thousands of other channels that are speaking about it. And, maybe you like them, maybe you like us more, but we're not going to talk about that shit. Maybe very slightly.
And Redline is a production that bankrupted the studio. For a feature-length film, it took like 8 years to produce, which is unheard of in like anime circles because like we talk all the time about like the crazy turnaround time for anime studios. They can create something as groundbreaking as the first half of the final season of Attack on Titan in 3 months.
We also talked about an American production that should happen. It was a Disney that was gonna create like this like Sky Pirates kind of movie. Do you remember? It was like
it's called
Atlantis?
Treasure Planet.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
like the same thing. But this,
I love Treasure Planet.
I never seen that.
You've never seen Treasure Planet is a Disney production from the early 2000s, but it's in this kind of realm, same as Atlantis. I'm glad you brought it up. Where Atlantis didn't make money either. It was kind of the tail end of the Silver Age of Disney films, where just gotten out of like the Aladdin productions. The Pixar studio was taking off. Like Toy Story had already been out, so we're getting used to incorporating entirely CGI.
Like they were barely like rounding up the money to buy the entire world.
Right.
Yeah.
This almost stopped them.
Yeah.
If these had produced even worse, we might not have the conglomeration that is Disney. But they almost feel like modern anime in context because it's highly stylized, very sharp modeling in 2D animation with very well placed CGI, and that feels like some of the things that I'm praising anime production for now. And these are productions that were coming out in like 2004, 2005. And the thing about Treasure Planet is it had a lot of CGI for the early 2000s, and it lost a lot of money because no one watched it. But I rewatched it recently. I rewatched it like 3-4 years ago, and I remember like no, not Red Line. Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet. Oh, okay.
And that's how Red Line feels. Incorporating back to the original discussion, that's how Red Line feels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Red Line, we saw something that we also really like about Space Dandy. Space Dandy, it is a compilation of like your loved character, Dandy.
What's his name, Dandy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dandy.
okay.
And every episode, just like the Animatrix and Star Wars Visions, they take upon themselves to use like different art styles.
Yeah.
To use it, and Redline here, it's within its own story. It feels like a Kendrick lyric.
A Kendrick Lamar lyric?
Yeah, it just feels
Redline does?
It just feels like it changes so much as it's going on.
Yeah.
But like the animation just crazy because you have like your Blade like nightclub scene where everything's so fucking wild. You have like the races and when they use a boost, and you have also the calm scenes when he's at the hospital and stuff like that.
The more you think about it, it kind of feels like a Speed Racer ripoff, except like
it is absolutely
produced to be a lot more mature, but also like it's kind of just Speed Racer.
It's just badass. Like
yeah.
If I was to talk like boomer like terms, I'd be like, that's Fonzie. That's what you're Fonzie.
It's Fonzie cool. Yeah,
it's Fonzie cool.
It's Fonzie
It's like,
cool.
You guys want to see a real cool racing anime? And
hit
not
the
this,
jukebox, yeah.
And not this fucking Speed Racer chump.
Amazing. I'll skip over 68 because that's the Dark Tournament Saga Yu Hakusho. You know what? No, I won't, because I didn't talk about it. I didn't talk about the Dark Tournament Saga enough.
Okay, you loved it.
I love it so fucking much.
The
bro.
tournament structure is so good.
Amazing, because
so good.
One of the gripes that's not a gripe that people bitch about season 2 of My Hero Academia in modern anime terms is that like it's a tournament arc. So it feels like cheating because it's like you're just gonna draw cool fights. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you don't even have to go that modern. Well, you can, and you also couldn't, because Dragon Ball Z has had probably 3 really good tournament arcs.
The whole anime is tournaments.
Yeah,
it's which we're bitching about tournaments because tournaments are an excuse to animate fights, because you don't need to create a narrative around setting up this fight. It's just like tournament. You have to fight because you're in this tournament together. Fight, go for it. And that's what's crazy about the Dark Tournament Saga, because like you want to talk about just crazy fights and just things that like there's like 5 non-fight episodes in something that's almost 50 episodes. That is the Dark Tournament Saga of Yu Yu Hakusho.
And I have romanticized fucking 90s animes for a while now.
Yeah.
But Yu Yu Hakusho, dude, season 2...
It stands up until season 2.
Yeah, but season 2, dude. Season 2, it is so good. And if you already watched season 1, season 2 is great. But like, if you want to watch not so eccentric dialogue, super nice colors, 2D animation being used crazy with the power of...
It's because I think the Dark Tournament Saga is cool because it has unique villains. You know what I mean? And that's what's boring about season 3, the Black Chapter Saga of Yu Yu Hakusho. It has very, very, very non-creative villains. And the power-ups in the Dark Tournament Saga are crazy because like these dudes are really fighting their asses off non-stop for like 2 weeks. So you believe Yusuke's power-ups because it's like, dude, like he's been fighting this whole time. And then come to Chapter Black Saga, it's just like, this is whack.
What's the little dude's name? Hiei with this fucking dragon beast fucking punch, like towards the end.
The black demon flyer that he is summoning from the underworld.
Like that should have like seizure warnings on that fucking episode. I'm sure it does somewhere.
It looks really good.
It looks fucking good.
I didn't skip one episode that we didn't, because what I was discussing when it came to trying to set up scheduling the Dark Tournament Saga is we had to schedule 2 episodes ahead of that because they don't require a lot of watch time in the week, and we needed to do 2 episodes that are just films back to back so that we could not miss a week of content, but that we had enough time during the week to watch the Dark Tournament Saga.
Because we can watch a movie and remember it within a week.
We have 3-hour discussions on a 90-minute film. Like, we are ridiculous.
Just stop us.
We are so fucking annoying. But anyways, we missed Summer Wars. And Summer Wars is really, really good. It's a classic because...
You mean our prediction to the metaverse?
Yeah. It's kind of... yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because it is about what it's like doing all of your business inside of the metaverse almost. And what would happen if somebody hacked that?
Mm-hmm. Would you imagine a future like that where everybody's in their computer every time? Or would you see it something like as relaxed as a phone, well, what do you call those? Like when you work at Dish, those.
Oh, like a telemarketer almost, like a call service.
Do you see like that super post-apocalyptic future where everybody's just in their computers, or would you see it something more relaxed, like, hey, hold on, I need to go to the bank, I'll pull out my phone. There you go, I'm in the bank.
I don't think the metaverse could ever take over.
Absolutely not. Because and with that shit of buying territory and having jobs. Hold on. Because
just wanted to say. Just let me finish this point, and I'll let you talk. I promise. Because for me, it makes me feel like a boomer. The less I want to use social media, the more boomers are obsessed with social media, right? So I fucking despise Facebook for every fiber of my being because they're so obsessed with the idea of allowing misinformation and just everyone to say everything to the point that like people are really sold on their own bullshit. Like I am so sick of this sense of everyone just like eating their own shit about everything. Like just like, oh, climate change is a lie, COVID is made up, like just people just fucking just swimming in their own shit about every bullshit opinion they've ever had in their lives, right? And I'm more upset because this week
bits of corn
Elon Musk is like obsessed with buying Twitter this week, which makes me more mad because
enjoy your divorce, bro. Like go.
Elon Musk is somebody that's like obsessed with people needing to like his opinion, right? And it feels like Trump in a way, and it's just like a lot of the internet's just billionaires and rich people getting stupid poor people to think that the billionaires are on their side, and I'm so over it.
And don't get me wrong. I like Joe Rogan up to a point, you know. Like I listen to some of his episodes. So I'm like, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in that. Cool. But then after a while, I'm like,
I only like the Joe Rogan episodes that have comedians in them because the comedians he came up with are down to shit on him. You know what I mean? Like once he starts,
I love Bill Burr.
I love Bill Burr so much.
Bill Burr is so good.
But like the episodes where he's getting just like bullshit
specialist,
just to like just feed his own shit to him. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, bro. I'm so tired of social media, and that's why I don't think something like Summer Wars could happen.
No, but like I was gonna say, fucking Elon Musk too, same kind of person. Like you believe like, dude, this guy's doing space stuff. This guy's doing electric cars. And then you get to the bottom of it, and you're like, this guy's a fucking dick, just like anyone else. And he's even more of a dick because of being annoying on social media. It's like, shut up, bro.
Like, so the plot to Summer Wars is basically that
everyone Zuckerberg unengaged.
Stop. Like everyone is doing so much business on the metaverse that a virus is able to overtake the metaverse and shut down all of modern society. That includes fire departments, emergency services, flights, internet, everything.
And I really liked Summer Wars. Summer Wars was a very, very nice stitch together because what you're talking about here, the hacker needed somebody to pin this on, so he was like encrypting this puzzle into like a puzzle game into like the internet, and only a smart person would do it to crack it, and then keep blaming it on them. It was really, really good stitch together, and the fact that it was like a whole family spice.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Yeah, that was the coolest part, the family dynamic, because it's like this 14-year-old, 15-year-old couple that are not a couple, but they're a couple by the end of this movie. Like the girls from like an old school, traditional, old money kind of family. You know what I mean? Like this family used to fight in armies in like the fucking 13th century, like medieval Japan.
Character heavy too. We have like 20 characters.
Yeah, and it's super cool though because it's really one of those tight knit families where like so and so my cousin brought a boy over. Who the fuck is this boy? Like I need to play games with him, talk to him all night, figure out what the fuck is going on because you need to know everything about your family because you're very close knit and protective, right?
Yeah, like a badass matriarchy.
Yeah, I love matriarchal stuff.
Oh, because she dies.
That's the saddest part because she dies, and it's just like, what do you mean? She was my favorite character, and she's also fucking 90 when they introduce her. So like,
try to cool her down with the eyes.
You should have expected it. It's annoying because I feel like as a smart fucking anime watcher, I should have expected that she was gonna die, and I'd seen this before, and I forgot that she died. I was mad at myself, being like, "Motherfucker, you got me again."
Crazy story.
But anyways, I wanted one other thing about Summer Wars is it is one of the most successful films produced by Mamoru Hosoda. And we watched a few things by this man this season.
Yes, we do. We got very intrigued with his work.
Yeah, we did. We watched like 3 movies of his, almost back to back.
Yep.
So we watched Summer Wars, we watched Wolf Children, and we watched The Boy and the Beast.
Yeah. Fuck, The Boy and the Beast is kind of forgettable. I've already forgot it.
The Boy and the Beast is about some essentially homeless kid while living in Tokyo, gets transported to another. It's essentially an isekai. Yeah. Gets transported to another world that is run by mythological, like old school Chinese beasts, right? And these humanoid beasts can transform into greater beasts, like and be a big ass boar or be a big ass bear. And it's about whoever wins amongst the 2 strongest warriors becoming the next god, the next ruler of this land. And it's about humanizing one of the most gifted people in this society who's like this super rough, rude, non-traditional, non-strict bear character with a young human child, and juxtaposing him a successful dojo leading boar character with golden hair. So he's regal, like he's royal, he's pure, he's a good dude. But one of his sons is a child that he stole from the human world, who grows like this evil animosity and this poison. That's what makes it feel like a God, who's the guy that made Howl's Moving Castle? God, I feel stupid for
Ghibli?
Yeah, it feels like a Ghibli film because all of a sudden in this 2-hour film, it's kind of long. It feels long while watching it.
It does, especially the dub not being like
good
somewhere. Yeah, or good. Yeah, or good.
But just to finish that point, like it feels like a Ghibli film because halfway through the super long film, the evil curse of human human jealousy takes over and starts infecting the world. And that feels like such a narrative cop. It feels like something that should have been a show that he was like, fuck, this has to end because it's a film. Evil poison that takes over Beast World.
No, yeah, it was very forgettable. I did like the animation, even the premise to the movie, but yeah, the execution at the end was bad.
And
Wolf Children though,
I fucking hate Wolf Children.
Wolf Children, I had a PTSD flashback from Wolf Children because when you look at the poster, and I don't know, I might put the poster right here on post edit. I might put the poster right here. Hopefully we don't get in trouble with YouTube. But the poster looks like a Ghibli movie, and we're gonna talk about Ghibli movies. It's like Wolf Children, cool. There's like these kids who got possessed by wolves, maybe, or kids that are so wild they're like wolves.
All this is it's pro furry. So basically, there's a species of wolf that can turn human. So my issue with Wolf Children,
you have an issue with this.
A lot of issues, but I think the biggest issue is it's essentially a furry film, right? Which if the idea of furryism is that you have an inner beast self that is your true self, and it's up to the rest of the world to accept you for that. Bless you.
Jonathan, everybody.
It is that, like, it fetishizes furryism. So in the first 10 minutes, you get a sex scene between a half man, half wolf, and a human woman, right? The annoying thing about this is that, like, basically the premise of the film is that there's a species, a family of people that are wolves. Like, they can turn into wolves, and they have wolf personality traits and stuff like that. But it's the only time we ever see the half human, half wolf hybrid is during the sex scene. Because they wanted to... That was fan service for this film.
And it wasn't even like what Twilight tried to do and make like a anatomy correct, like wolf, like oversized wolf, you know? But he made him into a
half human, half... Like, he's bipedal, but also furry and has a wolf face. Yeah. And he has sex with this woman, and they have two wolf children.
He has a penis to have sex with a woman.
It doesn't make any sense, because the rest of the movie, when it's about the actual wolf children, they just turn into wolves.
We have that in that conversation. This middle part of this conversation
is good.
It is the best shit ever, because it's about a mom doing what she needs to do.
She moves to the country to get a house for dirt cheap.
An old farmer is mean to her.
She starts tending the field to produce, like, potatoes, a crop that can create income for her family. Like, it's a thing. Like, it creates a sense of community, because the rural community starts helping her out because they realize she has two kids. And what the film boils down to is that the son runs away from home at like 13 years old to go be a wolf in the mountains, because you need to accept your true beast self, and that means abandoning your family and human society.
And then the sister takes place with the humans, because she was like, that's how I grew up. I love being with mom. I love cooking and stuff like that. But it is very nicely tied together about like how the story goes. But yeah, it does have like this super... And if you want to take it in the context of whatever being yourself is, like, you know, if you're gay, if you're lesbian, if you're bi, if you're, you know, transsexual, whatever, to be your own self, go ahead, you know?
We don't care.
We don't care. But it does take the emphasis on the furry aspect to it, which is okay as well, you know? But it is just... it takes it by surprise.
It's because it's fetishizing. Like, I understand... being proud, I understand.
How is it fetishizing?
Like,
because
it's a sex scene between a half man, half wolf. Like that's the only point that there's ever a half man, half wolf. Every other instance with him in it, he's either full human or full wolf. The kids, they're either full human or full wolf. The only time ever that you see this furry half human, half wolf thing is during the sex scene. And that's what's upsetting about it, because, like, and they want to make it think it's this deeper thing, that it really is this deeper concept.
And it could have been. Like, if you change the variable of, like, the whole furry persona thing, like, it could have been, but that's all what it is.
And I think that's hilarious, because, like, so after watching that, we watched the Dark Tournament Saga, which we loved, and then we went back into movies, because we were stuck on films for a while. So we watched Weathering with You. We love Makoto Shinkai here. Like, one of our best discussions in season 1 was a part where we talked about three Makoto Shinkai productions. In one episode, which we absolutely love. And the thing about Makoto Shinkai is he's the guy that made Garden of Words. He made Your Name.
5 centimeters per second.
5 centimeters per second, which might be your favorite of all those.
I think that was good, yes.
But,
and Weathering with You.
And Weathering with You. So that's what I was getting to. So we did watch Weathering with You for episode 69. And I liked Weathering with You a lot. I feel like I miss it. I feel like I'm looking at the screenshots of the characters, and I'm remembering the plot, and I feel like I really, really, really miss Weathering with You.
Well, I know that Mr. Shinkai is working on another project, and the rumors are that this may or may not be a sequel to Weathering with You, because nerds just see water on a cover page and they're like, Weathering with You.
But also Weathering with You established that all of his films take place in the same universe, because the characters from Your Name are in Weathering with You.
Yeah. And the teacher from 5 centimeters per second was on the Garden.
Oh yeah, was the main character in the Garden of Words. Yeah, absolutely. So it's called Suzume Locking Up the Doors.
Mm-hmm.
In all we have is the poster so far, and that's what nerds are freaking out. It's a girl.
What is it called again? I'm sorry.
Suzume Locking Up the Doors.
Okay.
And the only thing we've seen so far, the only visual is a girl in a high school uniform standing in front of like a pond with a door. So because there's water, nerds are like weathering with you, because the plot to Weathering with You is that there's water girls, rain girls, what were they called?
Child homelessness.
Oh, it is about child homelessness. Oh my god. Oh my god. So
it gets spicy. It gets good.
The whole movie is a metaphor for child homelessness.
Yeah. Essentially,
because it's about a girl who's a weather child or a weather girl. They call it a weather girl. They call it a weather girl. So she has the power over the weather. So they start monetizing that. It's this boy and this girl and her little brother because they're homeless essentially. Like the parents abandoned this boy and the girl, and the kid ran away from the rural northern northern islands of Japan, moved to Tokyo, made friends with all these people, and became like a freelance journalist almost. And that's how he found like this weather girl that he falls in love with, and they essentially act like a married couple with like her younger brother. And
there was a promise ring involved.
It's super cute. Yeah. It's super
super cute.
It's super cute. I love it so much. It's this really like wholesome kind of environment, and it comes crumbling down because it's essentially like if she's this all powerful weather girl. Like her childish emotions can't contain it almost because she gets separated from her brother because Child Protective Services, while doing the right thing and trying to get these kids taken care of, takes them away from the family that they'd already established throughout the entire film. Correct. And there's like strong themes of gun violence, like hunger, being, sleeping in the rain almost. It's crazy. I think it's super. I do not think it's better than Your Name, don't get me wrong, but I think it might be my second or third favorite Shinki because I like Garden of Words a lot. Well, when
you say second or third, he has like what, 5 films?
He has like 7.
7 films. Okay.
He has like 7. But the thing about, because I like Garden of Words a lot, but it's not a feature-length film, which like makes me not want to rank it as high because it's only like 45 minutes, which kind of sucks. It's really good. I suggest everybody watch Weathering with You.
I hope the door. What is it? The other.
Suzume Locking Up the Doors.
Yeah, Locking Up the Doors. I hope that's really good. I'm sure that's gonna be insanely animated, especially with the way he likes to incorporate like 3D animation as well.
Yeah. And we had a really good episode recorded on like a Monday during the day with Jacob Banuelos on No Game No Life.
No Game No Life.
So
I remember the intro to that episode.
It was the main series and the movie, and I remember I liked the movie a lot more because I'd already seen the main series like twice. And the thing about No Game No Life is it famously has like one of my least favorite tropes in fan service, which is like not only like child abuse, almost like sexualizing a minor, but it's also incest heavy. Like it tries to set up the sexualized ship between a like 17-year-old brother and his 12-year-old sister a lot. It fetishizes the younger girl a lot. And I think a large part of that episode was us shitting on Jacob Banuelos for that. Because he tried to pretend it wasn't a thing. And
what are you talking about?
And we were like, you are full of shit.
Don't gaslight me.
Yeah. You are full of shit. And that's why I like the movie a lot more. Because even though it tries to do the same thing, but she's a robot. So she's not actually a minor. She just looks like a minor. But at least it has cool action scenes.
It does. I had fun watching this more than Plastic Memories.
Fucking hated Plastic Memories.
Plastic Memories was kind of like, okay, Jacob, I get it. You like this anime.
Yeah, we get it. We get it, Jacob. You have this thing about sexualizing like girls that look like minors. We get it, dog.
and when you start, and it's not even that harsh. It's not that we're saying it that harsh.
We're not calling anybody a pedo. We're not saying.
Yeah, that's not what we're saying. In the anime world. This happened to us in, I believe, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, that in contrast with Shenki movies. Remember at one point you were like, Aldo, did we just get tricked into watching some hentai shit?
Yeah.
You know? Because there's some really heavy ass, like, I want to suck your wiener.
It's so fan servicey, it's almost hentai.
and No Game No Life, it just reminds me of like that piece on Yu Yu Hakusho's third season where that gamer boy.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of that all the time with insistent.
Yeah. I think No Game No Life is a great premise. I think it's one of the most famous examples of like why the fuck didn't this get a season 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's not only mismanagement by the studio, but it's just like people don't want to be associated with a work created by somebody that's like actively stealing other people's works from the internet. Like one of the most famous characters is this angel character who's kind of like a punk, like a cyberpunk kind of angel.
Mm-hmm.
But like her entire like design model, her character design's entirely stolen from like Twitter, from somebody else's work on Twitter that he was following, and that sucks. That sucks so bad. Because like, and that's just left like this permanent stain on No Game No Life. Because that's one of those that like nerds always bitch about on Twitter. Like, why doesn't this have a season 2? Why doesn't this have a season 2? It's because the guy stole like half his characters from other artists, and people don't want to be associated with him. And that sucks. That really does suck.
That does. It's like you said, it's a great premise. I feel like
What's the premise?
Konosuba and No Game No Life had almost the same vibe to it.
So No Game No Life isn't isekai, but it's entirely like it's a world where you can only play games. Like you can't commit violence on somebody.
Correct.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna mug you on the street, but first let's play chess. If you beat me at chess, I'm taking all your shit.
Correct. And so in Konosuba's so good. I miss Konosuba.
Yeah, me too.
Konosuba is such a little angel of anime, and when this kind of anime, and that anime is super fun servicing, but when anime as a whole, the industry has fans in, from what I heard, a very promiscuous Japan. Like they just have mangas about a lot of shit. You know, they have.
You know what sucks is that like it's not only that, it's not only the anime industry that you're describing in Japan, but like there's a culture in like fucking anime watchers that is like the most disgusting thing in the world. Like it's just people that like just really need to go outside and touch grass. Like please, for love of God. So there's a tweet that went like semi-viral this week, which is super fucking annoying, like a statement to even say. But it's basically this TikTok of this guy bitching about Spy Family and like the little pink girl. It's just a
Why is she not more sexy?
No, it's him bitching like, why did they sexualize her? Why did they sexualize her? And it's just a scene of her cuddling up with like the pretend spy father, and just being like, why are they sexualizing? Why are they sexualizing her? Because they made her cheeks like blush and red. When that's supposed to mean like comfort or shyness or like. But like all nerds being fucking nerds that haven't gone outside and talked to an actual woman, they just think like, oh, pink cheeks, that means that she's being sexualized. Oh my god.
And like I said, this and when we, at least when I try to, like, my extended family knows about the podcast, you know, my cousin, you know, whatever, and like sometimes, oh, how's the podcast going? Oh yeah, it's going good. Cool. Like, so you guys talk about Japanese, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yes, like, so all the weird shit is like, no, it's not just like that weird shit. You know what I'm saying? I know what they're talking about, but it just feels like they're prejudiced to what that is. And that's why we're making this fucking podcast to attract the people that actually know what fucking anime is.
Yeah. People that are going to look at it objectively and not just be fucking weird.
And if we get tricked into watching like High School XDXD or like Boku no
Pico, please. Oh no! I hope people don't trick us into watching High School DxD.
I hope nobody votes for it.
Oh no! I hope nobody tricks us into watching High School DxD. That would be so fucking awful. Although
you know,
or High School of the Day.
Or
oh no! Like although I hope they don't trick us into watching that. That would be so shitty, bro.
It would be. But if they did,
I'd have to watch it.
I would gladly watch it.
Oh no! Although I'd have to watch it.
I would gladly watch it.
Anyways, so we watched season 2 of Fruits Basket with Rachel. Season 2's ass. We talked about it in our season 3 finale, which was barely like 4 weeks ago.
We don't want to skip. We don't want to skip on it so hardly, but we don't also want to take so much time in it.
Exactly.
There is a lot of characters in there that put premise into the final season, which is good. But
there's a unique aspect to how the season was produced and released. Season 1 is only 12 episodes. Season 2 is the worst season, has 24 episodes for no fucking reason. It's really bad, like really bad. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's like 80% fluff. Like it could have been 6 episodes. Fuck 24 episodes.
Absolutely, and
then they made season 3 12 episodes, which sucks ass.
It sucks that it was short, but it was good.
Right. Like, exactly. Like, if you were gonna make anything 24 episodes, it should have been season 3, not season 2.
Correct.
And then
season 2 sucks. We watched K-Owned with Joel Martinez. Joel Martinez has not said a word since then. I have not heard of him.
Love you, Pillow.
I
see Pillow every week. Don't get me wrong. Pillow. Oh,
Pillow?
It's because
you're giving me the cold side of the Pillow of Joel Martinez.
So the thing about
I have not heard anything about
the thing about Joel is that he does not have any social media or anything, so he has no really way to communicate with us. But the only social media he has is Facebook. But he's one of those people that doesn't want to put his real name on Facebook, so he has a Facebook that's just called Pillowcase. So that's why I call him Pillow.
Pillow. Pillow's a nice man, but we are gonna get a Facebook.
We're gonna get our Facebook taken care of, and we do want to get Joel back for the movie for KO.
Oh yeah.
Because the K-Own anime has like 2 OVAs that ends on a cliffhanger because the girls are going to go out of town to sing or do their band stuff, whatever. I like season 2 of K-Own a lot. I was really worried in season 2 when we watched season 1 of K-Own, and it came to you watching it, Aldo, because I was like, fuck, like if Aldo doesn't like this, I don't know what I'm going to do.
No, man, K-Own, it's one of those nice gems, dude. Nice gems of an anime that if you're gonna...
It's almost not a gem, because a gem implies that like it's hidden in the earth and like hidden away. It's a Kyoto anime production. Like this is a really big production.
Okay, maybe gem was the wrong word, but it's just such a...
It's solid.
As we don't have... We watch anime. That's what we fucking do every fucking week. If you're gonna watch something that it's super fun, super stress relieving, super easy to watch, and easy dialogue, and
just something gets your mood up. Really.
Just like me and VNA always like whenever we're gonna sit down and watch something, it's like, what do we want to watch? What do we want to feel? Do we want to feel happy? Do we want to like get intrigued? Do we want to feel sad? What's up? And we're like, let's watch a feel good movie, and that's what it is.
That's what K-On! is. Yeah.
It's K-On!
You've been having a bad week, and you're just like, fuck it. I'm not gonna go hang out with my friends on a Friday night or a Saturday or whatever. I just want to stay in all night and just finish an anime. K-On! Is a great comfort anime,
and you could start from season 1. Season 1, season 2 will fucking go by life.
Well, that's the thing about season 2. It's the opposite problem. Well, it's not a problem. It fixes the issue that Fruits Basket has, where season 1 is 2 school years and 12 episodes. Season 2 is 1 school year and 24 episodes. 26 episodes, because it has 2 OVAs. And that's like amazing. That's amazing. Like that's the best thing you can do for your audience.
Correct. Yeah.
Excited to have Joel back. I'm glad we're doing this recap, because I almost forgot we need to get back to that. I forgot we need to watch this movie. We need to do that ASAP. I'm gonna hit Joel up soon.
Okay, and then towards the end of 2021, our fucking 3rd year into this fucking pandemic. Remember on the first episode we said that this was not gonna last this long?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of weird that it has. But towards the end of the year, we started having the conversation, me and you, Drew, about talking to our viewers and listeners about, touching up on like recent anime.
Yeah.
Recent anime, which I was talking to you off mic, that we should take some time to watch. Maybe not a theme month, but maybe on our nerd downs or something, like we should talk about a recent anime that we have finished.
I'm down. I was doing that a little bit last season before I went to Denver, when I was talking about My Dress Up Darling. But I think the other idea you had, which was in that same,
like for us to get in the same recent anime.
Oh,
that's what I was.
Okay. I'm down.
You
know, you when you walked in, you literally said you want to watch Spy Family. We can do that. That's perfectly fine.
See, but we would have to watch something that finished, so we would have to watch something recent from last year.
Oh,
You know what
okay,
I'm saying?
okay.
Just to keep the content creation up to a fresh
Yeah.
standard. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got you, absolutely.
You know?
I don't mind that at all.
And maybe we can dedicate a month to just
some
of those watches.
Yeah, I get you. I think that's an excellent point. And like some of our a lot of our nerd downs lately have been like even though it's not what you were talking about, even though I thought it was what you were talking about. I've been going over things that I am watching. Early on in season 2, I was talking about Horimiya, which we did watch in season 3. In season 3, I was talking about in several nerd downs that I was watching My Dress Up Darling, which we could get to now that's completed, to the kind of episode or month that you're talking about. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Like maybe December could be like a whole just like recapping like the past 2 years of anime, because I think where you're getting at is, even though My Hero Academia is already like 7 years old, it's considered one of the recent hits. One of the modern classic. You know what I mean? Like, that makes me feel old that My Hero Academia is
I
almost
never
7 years
felt
old.
old, and me hearing you say that right now, I just felt
That My Hero Academia is 7 years old?
Yeah.
So we did finally get to season 1 of My Hero Academia, because it is a modern powerhouse. It's a modern classic. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
the studio takes it absolutely serious.
yeah, I've seen season 1 of My Hero Academia. I don't even fucking know, like 10 times, something not that much, but it's at least like 6-7 times. Like I can't something that was only 12 episodes at the time. It's absolutely ridiculous.
And I feel like Mob 100 has the same potential as My Hero Academia.
And I think it's funny that you bring that up, because we did watch Mob Psycho 100 season 1. We have not watched season 2, which I think Mob Psycho 100 season 2 might be one of the best seasons of any modern shonen, like, period. But season 3 got announced last week.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of incentive to get back into Mob Psycho 100.
Absolutely. And we'll put these polls up. We'll keep in track of the polls names that lose, so we can like.
I'll probably start next
watch
week,
them back,
so that we can do it. So that we can have at least 2 weeks of content ahead of when we record it by the time we get to May.
And again, watch with us. If we announce something in our social medias, hey, this week we're gonna watch this fucking anime. Watch with us, and we're gonna put it up, and just watch with us.
Yeah.
By the time you listen to this shit, just talk shit to us about what our points, if you like them or not.
Honestly, I miss when Valentine used to do that, because we took every single one of his recommendations ever, which maybe I need more of his recommendations.
I feel like,
and then he'd come at me and
like
bitch at me, and then I was able to come on the podcast and be like, listen to what Valentine said about our bad take on fucking.
Have we
Death
let
Note.
him down?
Yeah, I think he's sick of Russia. I know he still listens, but like,
Yeah.
I think he's tired of giving recommendations just for us to shit on it.
But like, I just want those recommendations, even though I'm gonna shit on them.
I know. Just grow some skin, guys. I'm talking shit. Valentine is one of the thickest skins of anybody I know.
Really? From all the nerds?
Yeah. Like, that's what. Honestly, can I talk about something real quick? This was already months ago. This was like November, December. I had a few people over to watch the 1000th episode of One Piece, and it was you showed up first. Me and you were drinking. Valentine came over, and I'd never realized it, because I never have you and Valentine in the same spot, in the same place at the same time enough. But you guys are the same kind of person where you have families that shit on each other a lot, so you guys get really fucking mean to other people, because you're used to having this discourse with your family members where you can say
this
really mean
things.
Yeah. So like, having you and Valentine in the same room, you're just saying mean things back and forth, and you're just, I'm just joking. I'm just like, me in the background. If I didn't know either of you, I'd be like, these guys are fucking dicks to each other. This shit is downright facetious. This is evil.
You should see how how Vianney looks at me sometimes, like me talking to my mom. Like, she'll be like, babe. Like, and she knows I'm kidding, and like my mom will say something back. It's just a super way we just show love. You know, one of my most loved aunts. We always give her the most shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
And we immediately after.
I love you, Valentine. If you're listening, just give us recommendations that are not bad. That's all you gotta do.
And that's what I think is crazy, because I know Valentine watches recent anime. None of his recommendations are anything after 2007, which I think is fucking wild. Like I know he's watching anime. I know he's experiencing other anime, but he's got permanent nostalgia brain in a way that I can't comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
And it started with My Hero Academia. We had CJ on. We had Christopher James on. And then for like 3 weeks in a row, we had CJ on for whatever reason. Because we just like having CJ around. I think he's really funny.
Well, from all of our friends, he's the one that watches
The most anime.
You know, he's actively watching anime.
Yeah.
And shout out to Emerson. Emerson has been watching a lot of anime recently because of Lindsay.
The audience doesn't know who Emerson is, or Lindsay.
Emerson is a good friend of ours, good friend of our persons, but not the podcast because he thinks we're just nerds that we talk about shit. But then week after week after he met Lindsay, his recent girlfriend, she shows him some anime and he'll be like, "Oh, this was cool, guys." It's like, yeah, we know, nerd.
I think Emerson's funny because he's the kind of person that thinks it's cool to hate everything.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a boomer. Like, he's such, like...
It's like, fuck you, that sucked.
Social media sucks. Modern movies suck. Modern TV shows suck. Anime sucks.
TikTok sucks.
Everything sucks. I don't even know what he likes, bro. Like
Star Wars.
But, he's the kind of person that would shit on modern Star Wars. Same thing, exactly. Like, but... Fuck, I don't even know where I'm trying to go.
But yeah, CJ's been with us in a lot of episodes.
So, like, one of our most popular episodes for season 3 was the My Hero Academia episode, because we went off, especially on the Nerd Down 2. Mm-hmm. And then we immediately had him back for season 1 of Demon Slayer, which I love Demon Slayer. That's one of the only mangas I've finished front to back.
I'm sorry, her name overslips me, but her, the creator of Demon Slayer, for her to show up, drop the mic and leave, it is amazing. Keep doing that. You see a lot of creators sometimes, and not just in anime, but like in the Western content creation of movies and film industry and shit like that. Sometimes you'll have shitty blockbuster summers of like shit movies.
Yeah.
You know, with
maybe they start with Morbius or something.
Yeah, and to have something as easy and perfect as Demon Slayer, it is awesome.
Like, so her name is Koyoharu Gotoge.
Koyoharu Gotoge.
Thank you. So, God, Demon Slayer is just the perfect shonen. Mm-hmm. Like, don't get me wrong, I have anime I like more, I like manga I like more. But when it comes to just, like, the perfect shonen, especially for what a modern shonen should be, like, it's Demon Slayer, forwards and backwards. Like, there's nothing wrong with Demon Slayer, not even a little bit.
It should be the flow reaction of what your shonen should be. Mm-hmm. Like, you can put any other theme on top
I started
of the
watching
story.
Dragon Ball. I started watching Yu Hakusho. It should always be, like, Demon Slayer's, like, up here.
And fucking the structure of Demon Slayer, you can put any other theme on top of the story that Demon Slayer is telling you, and it will be great.
It doesn't even need to be about demons. It could be literally almost anything.
Yeah, it could be about fucking Russia invading Ukraine. I don't know.
But Demon Slayer Season 1, obviously amazing, stupendous. Like, we need to get into the train saga. We need to get into talking about and we both watched all of it. That's what's annoying. Like, we need to get into talking about the Entertainment District saga. And that's what's so annoying because we both watched the entirety of Demon Slayer.
Did you ever watch Memoirs of a Geisha?
Yes.
I got V to watch Memoirs of a Geisha because of Demon Slayer. Because I was trying to explain to her, it's like, what's going on in this? It's like, this is
the Entertainment District.
This is the old style.
It's a red light district
of a community in Japan. Is like, people sell their daughters, farmers sell their daughters, farmers sell their kids, and they put them into like.
There was several episodes in Samurai Champloo about that too.
Correct.
Because like the guys in Samurai Champloo are such simps. Mm-hmm. There's several episodes where each of the main male characters try buying people out of sexual slavery from brothels or try breaking them out. There's a few episodes in Samurai Champloo like that, and we haven't talked about that in a while.
And then I was telling her, it's like, well, why did these girls do this? Like, well, they grew up into it. Like,
being
geishas was the pinnacle of, like,
especially if you were born in the common class.
Correct.
Like, the most a woman born in like one of the lower common classes could ever be was a geisha.
Correct.
Like a really popular geisha.
Correct.
Like your best prostitute. That's the best your life is ever gonna be.
And Memoirs of a Geisha touches on that.
That's literally the plot of Memoirs of a Geisha.
Of like the fancy aspect of being a geisha, the super, I'm the best whore.
Yeah, like military leaders, presidents,
governors.
They're all fucking me, bro. Like I'm best prostitute.
Oh, who you're hanging out with?
Yeah, exactly. That's Memoirs of Geisha, and that's also the entertainment district to Demon Slayer. So we need to get to that eventually.
Correct.
So that's a whole nother season we haven't even touched on. That's 2 other seasons.
I'm glad you watched Memoirs of a Geisha.
I like good movies.
Yeah, you do.
So we did watch the 1993 film production of Ninja Scroll.
Oh, I gotta bring this fool's fucking comment.
Which is it's a really, really it's a testament to what animation could be in 1993. Like, it's ridiculous how well it's animated entirely in 2D in 1993.
And to be a movie, the plot wise, it is very, like, you really wanted to push all these fights into a film. You did it beautifully, because it goes from 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, and there wasn't even no dash between the fights.
It makes sense too.
Correct.
It makes sense. Something that we bitched about was character motivations in the episode, because it's like, if you came back from the dead, why would you want to take out revenge on one person? I can't even remember the context at the time. It was so long ago. But we did get an angry comment out of it.
Yeah. Shout out to Polo Shirt Samurai on YouTube. He did say, again, and I quote, "Did you even watch the movie? The gold isn't the point of the movie. Jubei versus the 8 Devils of Kimon is. And the Quan, it's on his own because of honor. The devils kill his group, and he alone survived.
It's funny because
anime is not about the plot, dog.
Especially not Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll is not the plot. It's weird that you're taking so much weight in the plot. Like, it's clearly almost a flex in showing good animation and showing gore. Like, that's a big part of it, is showing really good 2D animated
like
gore.
If you were telling the plot to, like, Power Rangers. Like...
Honestly, I saw a TikTok the other day that made me laugh, and it was like, wait. Are Power Rangers cops? I'm like, motherfucker! Power Rangers are cops! I hate Power Rangers now. I hate cops.
And it's... comparing to a fucking anime we watched long ago, which is Samurai Champloo, I almost respect Samurai Champloo more because it is not trying to take himself so seriously.
Yeah.
Because if anything, if you're gonna take yourself super interesting in a what do you call these super journeys?
Like an epic.
Like an epic, like Berserk is doing it well.
Yeah.
You know,
Berserk is an epic. Yeah.
You know. But and if you are gonna bitch about like the plot this much, it better be about Berserk the epic.
Yeah.
You know.
I get you.
Yeah.
We'll get back to Ninja Scroll-esque things eventually. There's a lot more gore out of the 90s that we can totally watch. So for the second time in 2 months, we did bring Jacob Bonwallace back. And I really did like listening to this episode. I didn't like the week of watching. This is one of those like...
Which one was it?
Plastic Memories.
Oh, yes.
So Plastic Memories is this anime that has really good character modeling. It has decent animation. It has that weird problem where the aspect ratio was shrank to the point that like it looks almost blurry and like the colors look dimmed down and shaded.
It almost looks like the filter on top of most of Death Note.
Yeah. But the plot is that we are living in sci-fi future where it's the plot to Detroit Become Human, where people have robot house slaves where they do everything for you, but at a certain point they become defective to the point that they become berserky manic and they can kill their hosts.
But in Plastic Memories, it's almost like a prescription. Like, it's a mental health issue. Yeah. So if like you lose your daughter and you were not ready to say goodbye, you would call this agency and be like, "Hey, can you guys make my daughter so I can say goodbye?"
That's an excellent point that I haven't thought about since. it is it's mental health therapy.
Correct.
Right. So
and I just thought about it.
no, yeah. I feel like we kind of alluded to that, but like that's exactly what Plastic Memories is. It's like, oh, my husband died in the war. How can I ever replace him or think about him again? You get a plastic fucking doll that looks exactly like him.
And you train yourself to say goodbye because they tell you in the contract, hey, we're gonna get you your little daughter back, we're gonna get you your father back, we're gonna get you your mistress back, but you have enough time to get your shit in order to say goodbye to that person.
That plot in Plastic Memories
is
amazing. It's amazing.
We totally missed it in the episode, though.
It's because because that's there. Like, I don't feel. I feel like we both understood that while watching it.
Correct.
But there's a whole nother like not even subplot, just another way of looking at Plastic Memories that is the main way it wants you to look at it, which is like if you are humanizing these robots that look like humans, the main character is part of a task force that's meant to eliminate the memories from defective robots that have been functional for too long. But he falls in love with a plastic robot that is gonna like be...
Who was only programmed to serve tea.
Right.
You know?
But he falls in love with her. And she's gonna be reprogrammed. And she's going to lose her memories so that she doesn't become a berserky robot like we've seen other models do.
Which, it turned the animation during a berserk plastic memory. It is amazing.
You see it in one episode, and then you never see
it. But
it
is amazing.
You see it in one episode, and you never... halfway through the season, you're like, oh shit, this is what this is about? That's amazing. Can't wait to see more.
Happen.
It never happens again.
It never happens again. You're right.
The ending to Plastic Memories is the plot to I, Human? Or what's the Robin Williams one?
Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Bicentennial Man.
Yes, Bicentennial Man.
Bicentennial Man.
So the plot to Bicentennial Man is a family purchases a robot that functions as a caretaker, grows up with a girl, and he raises said girl that she falls in love with him. And then her granddaughter falls in love with the robot once he buys human skin.
Human stuff.
Yeah, once he becomes more humanized and buys human skin because he always had a human personality. So the plot to Plastic Memories is that this boy falls in love with this robot who's gonna be decommissioned before she goes berserk. But he doesn't want her to be decommissioned because she's gonna lose all the memories of them together, and she's not gonna be the same person because the memories make who you are, and he's in love with who she is right now. So But
then it turns into this a Westworld thing when they remember their past programming, and they're like, he's always meant to be there, and I'm always gonna find him, and it's fucking God.
But it's not only that. It's not only all that. Is that the robot girl is a fucking lolly. Like, she's a lolly character model, so she looks like a fucking minor, and it's super fucking weird because even the way they logic it, after even we recorded this episode, I'm talking shit to Jacob at his shop. And he's just like, what do you mean? I Googled when she was made, and that means she's 60 years old. So that means she's 60 years old.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Doc, her character model and her personality is meant to always stay as a 12-year-old. What are you talking about? And that's in direct juxtaposition to something as mature as Devilman Crybaby. Like, you didn't know what Devilman Crybaby was going into it. I think you recommended it, actually.
Yeah, I heard about it. It looked very good.
Who'd you hear about it from?
Just GIFs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just Twitter, anime Twitter.
Yep.
Being posted up there. I thought it was gonna be, which it is, and you haven't seen this, but the first Blade movie.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just, I don't know. It just seemed like the easiest way to make a hentai.
I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all.
It's set so wrong with me. I don't know why.
You did bring this up. You brought this up during that you had a certain amount of expectations, but the conversation helped you like it more, which a lot of the times it does. I think Devilman Crybaby is really good because it's essentially like watching a straight to HBO film, super raunchy almost, super dramatic, good directing, obviously. It's they're always high quality, high produced things, but that medium lets you produce something that's not socially acceptable or very mainstream, which I feel like Devilman Crybaby is.
And it also had like that that I thought it was gonna be something at the beginning, but it turned out to be something else, and then the ending was something I had already seen.
Right.
It was weird.
It's the end to NG.
Yes.
No spoilers, it's the end to NG. Yeah. Which I think is my biggest gripe, because I feel like I hadn't... When I watched Devilman Crybaby, when it first came out, I'll be honest, like, I'm fucking embarrassing.
No,
I hadn't already seen NG.
Oh,
I had not seen NGE all the way through. Like, obviously, I'd seen certain episodes here and there, like, as they came up on Toonami and Adult Swim, but I'd never seen NGE front to back, right? And, like, after watching Devilman Crybaby, I'm like, motherfuckers, like, fuck, it's another NGE ripoff, which that was something we talked about immediately after finishing NGE. We were like, everything's an NGE ripoff at the end of the day, which we talked about with, like, Darling in the Franxx, and, like, there's almost everything that's about, like, fucking... existentialism in the face of the world needing to change itself to correct human demonism is like it's all NG. Every single thing that sounds even remotely like what I just said is NG
with a little sprinkle of incest.
But Devilman Crybaby isn't that though, because it's like an adopted sister.
Well, no, I'm talking about NG as well.
Oh, NG. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, that one's worse because it's like a clone of his mom.
Yeah.
But Devilman Crybaby is the first good Netflix anime original, which, like, out of, like, every 10 Netflix anime originals, one of them's good. So this was the first example of that. And I think it's very stylized. I think it puts you in a headspace. The episodes feel super short. They're like 15-minute episodes almost. On something like Netflix that, like, yeah, it doesn't have ads, but at least if it's something that was premiered on television, so at least 23 episodes, it feels like 12, 15-minute episodes for just 12 episodes.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of FLCL.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, just short, and to me, I cannot tell you, I would not recommend it, honestly. I would not.
I think it's funny that over time your opinion's gotten worse than Devilman Crybaby.
Well, yeah, and also with Code Geass, you know, but
that was season 2. Leave it alone.
But Devil May Cry had left me with such a bad taste, almost like, and this is by a hair, I think, that Hanebado, for some reason, did not leave a bad taste in my mouth, but it was close to not make me feel anything.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I got you.
And Devil May Crybaby left nothing to even be like me at a bar just being like, hey, have you ever seen Devil May Crybaby?
It's one of those where, like, if somebody said that, you'd be like, ugh.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, yeah, I've seen it, and I will talk about it and hear him out. But, like, if he was about to be, if his first words were to be like, oh, the best anime is Devilman Crybaby.
I don't think I've ever heard that. I really don't think I have. I think it's one of those, like, oh, I was at my boy's house and I saw this crazy ass fucking anime. It's about this demon. He was fucking this other demon in the sky. I'm like, oh, okay, Devilman Crybaby. Oh yeah, that shit's insane. Like, it's all shock factor.
Yeah, kind of. And then when I think about, like, demon rape, like, I think about Berserk. Like, if I want to see demon raping, like, Berserk is the way you want to go.
But, like, Berserk's creepier because it's a demon raping a human. Like, when it's demon on demon, I think it has a dual meaning because it's kind of like dominating this other person and you're both garbage. It's this
you're both garbage. Yeah.
It's this whole other feeling.
Like the audience in Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh. All those dead demons.
So then it's weird. So, like, we were jumping all over the place in terms of theme because we go from something like Devilman Crybaby to Promare.
So I was gonna ask you, what do you think it's better as far as being like one of these big streaming companies like original? Promare is an Amazon original. No. It's on Amazon Prime because it actually did come out in theaters. Oh, I thought it was.
It came out in theaters.
What am I thinking about? Made in Abyss.
You are thinking about Made in Abyss.
Made in Abyss is that's right. I'm sorry. But what do you think it's better? Devilman?
Promare or Devilman Crybaby?
No. Promare
or Made in Abyss? Made in Abyss.
Yeah.
Made in Abyss by, like, a long shot. Because Made in Abyss is, like, top 5 anime ever right now.
Yeah.
Like don't get me wrong, they have time to fuck it up because like they just made a video game about it.
I might be romanticizing it in my head.
Yeah, I've seen it twice, I felt better the second time, if anything. So like I don't think you're wrong in that.
Yeah.
But like they have time to fuck it up because like the narrative isn't finished. They just made a video game. It's kind of cash grabby. Okay, maybe not. Maybe it'll flesh it out more. Because my understanding is there's a whole plethora of like manga and light novel material that hasn't gone over, and they just announced a season 2. So like I'm hoping it's the same production quality. But like what was cool about season 1 is that it was a know-nothing anime on a know-nothing platform. Like, what is that? That's 2013 Amazon Prime? Who the fuck had Amazon Prime in 2013? Nobody. No. Might be after that. It's like 2017.
2017.
It's like 2016, 2017.
Made in Abyss. Yes. Yes, you're right.
So still, like, who the fuck had Amazon Prime in like 2016? Nobody. And that's why I'm hoping season 2 doesn't suck, because you're right. Like when I'm thinking about like and it's not the production owner, it's not Netflix or Amazon in making their own studio produces. It's them contracting a sub studio or a studio coming to them with an idea, and they'll just fund it. So I get that, but absolutely Made in Abyss is better than something like Devilman Crybaby.
Yes, Devilman Crybaby, absolutely. And I mean, not that we're talking of Made in Abyss, but the video game aspect was already in Made in Abyss before they made
it. It kind of already feels like an RPG. It feels like
materials and shit. You know.
So Karen makes fun of me because I played like 120 hours of Persona 5 Royale, right? And every time I was trying to play it, she'd be like, "What are you gonna do? Go watch your video game?" Which like. I've described in Nerd Downs that Persona 5, especially Persona 5 Royale, feels like you're playing an anime, right? So there is a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, like
but
the
like
Metal Gear games. The Metal Gear games was like you doing something and then fucking clip of something bad is going on.
Right, and that's why Made in Abyss feels like the opposite. It's like you watching somebody else play an RPG. Like, hey, we gotta get to the pit of this island to go find my mom inside of the abyss.
Like atrocious injuries.
Yeah.
Fucking oyster babies, oyster kids.
A lot of orphans. A lot of gore.
A lot of like mental manipulation through
love.
A
lot of body dysmorphia gore. Like it's like watching Human Centipede or something. It's like a lot of.
And it's
body gore.
And it's something like how we talked about Demon Slayer, if we're talking about this season, that it is a horror without wanting to be a horror. Like it gives you a super horror aspect to the anime without being that.
Yeah.
It's so good. But if we're talking about Promare, was Jacob with us that day? Or
no,
was he not?
He didn't come through. CJ came through.
CJ came through. Yes. Promare.
It's Studio Trigger. Still wearing my Gurren Lagann shirt.
And we watched Star Wars Visions the same season.
Yeah. We still have not watched Kill la Kill. I don't know how.
For some reason.
I don't know how, but we still have not watched Kill la Kill.
We'll probably get to it.
We haven't watched Little Witch Academia. We haven't seen almost any of Studio Trigger. Yeah.
And we're already almost 100 episodes in.
But Promare was one of those where Aldo came at me and he's like, "Dog, I need a break. Can we watch a movie, please?" Aldo already knows I'm going to be annoyed when he comes to me like that. But he came with a suggestion already in hand. And he told me Promare. And I was like, okay.
Because we have had that conversation before.
Relent.
We had that conversation before. We're like, what about that one movie in Amazon?
Yeah. And I just never down. But Aldo did his homework, so I relented. Promare is good. Promare is an excellent example of what CGI integration in like a 2D animated landscape can be. That shit looks amazing, and it's only like 2 years old. It came out like 2020. It's amazing animation. Like some of the best animation I've seen in anime in like an anime film ever. It's so good. It's so great to look at.
And like we're talking something like a gore demonic epic of what Berserk is. Like Space Dandy is a space epic. Like Redline is a space epic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
In Promare here, it puts you in a familiar environment, but you know it's alien. It's an alien world.
It's like the opposite of an epic. It's like
I'm talking about like a spacey epic. Like it just feels so Star Wars.
Yes, because an epic means a long-term narrative where one character is learning a whole world, right? So Promare is hyper-contained narrative that I don't actually think it's an epic.
Maybe well, to me, I don't want to call it an epic in the full extent.
It is epic, but it is not an epic.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. It's a short version of that. You know, it is a taste of what could an epic be. Because if you think about it, as short as the adventures of Space Dandy were, or the short adventure of our main protagonist racer in Redline,
it feels like a children's novel. Like it has a really precise opening and ending.
Of this guy coming from point A and finishing at point B with like tremendous good plot to it.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by epic, and especially like space epic, because it just feels that it was taken seriously. First of all, you know, and the animation trigger, this being their pinnacle of like technology usage, it makes for a great dynamic in the show.
Yeah. It's the plot to Promare is basically that an alien race of like fire spirits.
We were comparing this to Eternals,
right? So same thing. So like, fuck no, not like the Eternals. It's I don't know. I don't know what it's like, but the plot is that an alien race of fire spirits has come to Earth and is taking over people's bodies. But it's causing spontaneous combustion. It's the plot to Fire Force. It's the plot to Fire Force, where people are spontaneously combusting, and a specialized Fire Force police force has to put the fires out. But it becomes a plot about the government misrepresenting what's actually happening.
What those people are.
Yeah, what that people are actually still people, and that like the fire spirits didn't actually want to blow people up, but they have this incessant need to feel the burn of society. So like it's up to the two main dudes to be spicy as fuck, and then they can burn through the Earth's atmosphere that can I don't know, that can give the fire spirits enough fire force to leave the planet because now they're satisfied. But the main guy, the main villain, was trying to evacuate everyone from Earth because he was also secretly possessed by a fire spirit. So I don't know. It's a lot of things, but it's mainly about the animation.
And it's a movie.
Yeah, it's mainly about the animation.
Yeah, and we have a lot of different aspects to this anime that you think it's gonna be one thing, you think it's gonna be another thing, you think it's gonna be another thing, but then it goes back to the one thing, and then it just turns into this almost like Disney villainy kind of operation.
It feels like Disney. It feels like it's such a concise story. It feels like watching a Disney movie.
Yeah, like and it's fun. I wouldn't recommend it to the point of being entertained, but maybe just something that you passively watch.
Yeah. It's fine. I'm not complaining about it. But this is getting into our February discussion where we did watch all romance and romantic comedy anime. And we started out, I honestly, I picked this month. I think it went really great. We started with season 1 and the OVA for Violet Evergarden.
Yes.
And it was amazing. It's the best. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like nothing.
Netflix produced. Kyoto.
Oh, it is Kyoto Animation.
Kyoto Animation.
But like nothing like makes you happy cry more than a Violet Evergarden. Like, for real. Like,
Happy Cry? Do you remember some of these episodes, Drew?
Okay, well, it's like watching Your Lie in April, right? Like, that was the first time we ever cried.
It's like watching 3 Your Lie in April.
Yeah,
at one point.
I feel like I cried harder at parts from Your Lie in April, but it's like consistently.
Yeah.
It gets that response out of you.
Yeah, it's like consistently fucking you up.
Yeah.
And Violet Evergarden is like, oh, look how great Violet Evergarden is, and then, fuck you, your mom's dead, everybody's dead. Like, oh.
So Violet Evergarden is about an orphan veteran from like an alternate world, World War II, where they have automail parts that this girl is a double amputee because she was sold as a military slave as an orphan during this world war, and her commander, which she fell in love with, died while trying to save him. She lost both of her arms by gunshot wound.
And he was trying to save her humanity.
Yeah, because she was a slave that was sold into the war, and he humanized her and was like, listen, like, you're more than this. You're not my weapon. Yeah, you are more than this. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, and it takes her up until the very last episode to realize that he actually has been dead this whole time, and he died. It's not even about that. While trying to. It's not. It's about her being this dehumanized weapon, learning about humanity.
And in the point in the time that we're getting put on in this anime, and I feel like I want to talk about Violet Evergarden forever now. But
we need to watch the movie.
But it just in that time, people are not very literate. They cannot read and write, or maybe not both, or maybe just one of them.
Oh, I forgot she's an auto memory doll.
Correct. So she is expressing the worries, the love, the news of other people that cannot read and write, or just write, to put it into words of what they're feeling, and sending this letter across war territory, or across.
So right, you know? It's very early in industrialized society, where what Aldo's saying, people still don't know how to read and write, but Violet gets an auto memory doll job, where their job is to hear the expressions and the emotions of another person, write a letter which expresses what the message that person's trying to get across, not their literal saying, what they're literally saying
like
to you.
Drew talks ugly all the time, but that's not what he means, but I know. So it's like just translating his ugly vocabulary.
So as an auto memory doll, she has to translate people's real feelings. But because she's a traumatized veteran, she's an orphan, all these other things, she doesn't know what it means to have feelings. No, so she can't write. Correct. Yeah, she's just a machine. Yeah. That's the metaphor with her automail arms. So it's about humanizing this girl that had everything taken from her before she had anything. Mm-hmm. And it's so sad. It's so this one's cool because this is one of the main examples we had where our episode turned somebody on to a great anime. Because after listening to this episode, Rachel Eves, who watches Fruits Basket with us, after listening to our episode, she watched all of season 1, the OVA, and then went and watched the movie. We haven't even watched the movie yet.
Yes, there is the OVA kind of movie that we watched. It was an hour-long episode. But there is more movies to it, and Violet Evergarden. Man, it is one good piece of animation. Like if you wanna get somebody into anime and what anime is really about, Violet Evergarden's right there. Because
I think that's an excellent point, because if you're trying to get somebody into non-shonens, Violet Evergarden's like a great example of that.
And we've talked about, we didn't even talk about it because we didn't even know by the time we finished talking about Violet Evergarden, but what is her name? Tanya the Evil resonated a lot with Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, and Tanya the Evil,
even though they're completely different things.
It has they have this same writing trope, which we've been bringing up in a few anime, that it's a anime written by a Japanese
child soldier
author about child soldiers in like this made up World War II world. It's like it's always fantasy World War II, kind of is how you can think about it.
And I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the aspects of children being used as soldiers and stuff like that. It is some horrible shit you see out there.
Yeah.
You always hear you always hear some stuff about like, what do you trust more, an adult with a gun pointing at you, or a kid pointing a gun at you? It's like the kid is gonna blow your fucking brains out because he doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like the aspect in Tanya and the aspect in Violet Evergarden just blows the fuck out of my mind.
Right.
Compared to like the absolute good that she does in the anime.
Right. Like, it's the best anime. Like, it really is like the most uplifting anime you could watch.
And we have this conversation a lot when we have this kind of episodes of the recap. Like, who would be our best girl? Who would be Violet Evergarden, Miss Toru, from Toru from Fruits Baskets? Like, complete best girl, or Miss Kobayashi Toru Dragon Maid.
It would be Hori-san from Horimiya.
Horimiya?
Yeah.
I was about to say that one too.
It's Hori-san.
Hori-san? She is great, huh?
Yeah, I think it's Hori-san.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because don't get me wrong, like, Violet Evergarden is fucking goated, but you're not supposed to fall in love with this character. I think that's what's different.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah. And Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is not the love I have. You know what I mean? Because Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is about like two women starting a family, essentially. It like, I'm not a woman, so like I'll never make that type of family. Like, so but I love Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid so much. It's again such an uplifting like like excuse me, great spirited fucking work. It's especially the sequel, because it really goes into the background motivations of the rest of the dragons that we met in season 1. Because Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is about this woman becoming best friends / lovers with a dragon who moves in with her and becomes her mate. But half of the anime is not that weird gimmick. It's actually this dragon learning what it means to be an empathetic human.
Correct.
So Dragon Maid S, essentially season 2, like, actually goes into people's motivations. It's not just this blank slated happy-go-lucky anime. It's actually explaining why people are doing the things that they're doing.
Yeah. And apart from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid having a absolutely in context theme of your sexuality as a lesbian woman, it almost puts his back on that theme in one of the episodes. We talked about in the episode that it was only okay for them to, quote unquote, off screen, off context, have sex only in the episode that she was turned into a man.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because we've talked about both homophobia and transphobia in Japanese media before, and that we already talked about Fruits Basket, and that's kind of something that we didn't explain. The biggest issue I have with Fruits Basket, besides season 2 being boring, is it's blatantly transphobic. Like, it blatantly treats transphobia as a disease that needs to be treated, and if you do identify as trans, you need to be isolated and kept away from everybody.
You cannot work because you will not be able to sustain a work or a job.
It's this really gross mentality, and like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is it's about a lesbian relationship, if you're being completely honest. But all of season 1 is about them being like, oh, I love you, I want to live with you, I want to start a family with you, I want to live with you, I want to start a family with you, but we can't ever hook up because two women just don't hook up. Like, it doesn't even pull the morality aspect that you'd hear. Like, we both, you grew up Catholic, I grew up Christian, you know what I mean? Like, that's what always I heard, like, it's wrong for two women to hook up with each other, which I always thought that shit was tight. I don't know. But
can ask my web search. That's right.
My dog's just dropped a bone.
That's okay.
But Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid tries to It's obviously, it knows that the audience knows that this is about a lesbian relationship. But to Aldo's point, in the beginning of the season, the new dragon curses Miss Kobayashi into growing a penis. And the only time you see Toru actively try to like pull a move and like hook up with Miss Kobayashi is because she now has a penis. Even though she's wanted to fuck her this whole time, it's like, oh, like we can't hook up with two vaginas. I'm pretty sure girls eat pussy too. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
It's like number one best dishes.
But like, do you see what I mean? And then like that, I think that's what really turns off because
it starts progressive.
Yeah.
And you're loving it.
Yeah.
And you're like, hell yeah. And I'm gonna bring it up again. Like this celebration of women kind of anime. It's really good. It's if you're a dude and you can't watch something like Miss Kobayashi, K-On, Dora, the other one.
Yeah.
Like if you can't watch something like that and have something
Toradora,
and have something good to say about the anime. Like I'm sorry, dude, but like women are not really your interest.
You're jaded.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Miss Kobayashi, it hits you with like that care of what women should have for each other.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this, just like in Fruits Baskets, or even Yu Yu Hakusho with that one trans character, like it turns very ugly. It's like, oh, you have that mental thing, like
oh,
she
you
does.
have that disease. Oh no, like
sorry, we'll see you later.
Like, and we're not talking about sports or anything like that, but like that's the current reason to be transphobic. I don't care what side you're on that issue. When it comes when how some people feel about trans women participating in college sports, that's not the issue we're talking about. We're talking about trans people being seen as a basic human being who's mentally stable. A lot of anime don't even treat them like that. Like the bare minimum, just like, yeah, a trans person's a person. They don't act like that.
And I feel like if we were to live like in a first world country, things like this, because they're not attached to like a type of pay or a type of popularity or a type of like capitalism attached to your athletic career, like it wouldn't matter. Like if the country was just doing it to see who the fuck is better at these things.
Yeah.
Like it would have a less of a, oh well, of course she won. She used to be a man. Blah 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 blah. It's like, no, dude. It's like she's just a woman that identifies as a woman who wants to live in a place that athletic professionals are gonna test their fucking skills to the whole thing.
That's what I think is crazy, because like maybe like I understand it's still a transphobic argument, but maybe I at least understand where the argument comes from. When it's people talking about like, if you're a woman, you worked your whole life to do X, Y, and Z, why somebody who's built bigger and stronger, why did they get to win it? But that argument always comes from people that I already know are like non-LGBT friendly.
And it's all a fucking, to me at least, to my fucking brain, it's just a construct. Because like, what about like the whole thing with Caitlyn Jenner? She got Woman of the Year that year that she transitioned.
Right.
And I know a lot of great women. You know what I'm saying? It's
like Obama winning a Nobel Peace Prize
for bombing the shed.
No, but it was the year he became president. Like he hadn't done anything yet.
Okay.
So
I thought it was a droning.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was before the droning. That's the thing.
Okay,
this was like 2008, 2009. He had just become president. So nothing had happened yet. So, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't care your feelings on Obama. He hadn't done anything yet. Like, just the act of him becoming president got him a Nobel Peace Prize.
And he didn't do shit.
I think.
Well, I mean, he did.
I think he wanted to.
Not that he didn't do shit, but like he didn't do nothing. The Nobel Peace Prize is something that you do for maintaining the peace.
This is people spending like 30, 40 years developing a science that promotes world peace. He hadn't done anything yet. But anyways, I don't know how we got into that rabbit hole after talking about Miss Kobayashi.
We were talking about Horimiya, which is our next episode 83, about being your best girl.
Again, second week of our Valentine's romance rom-comedy filled month. Love Horimiya. I talked about Horimiya. Like, if all was talking about animes we're watching during the season, this was one of the ones that I was briefly describing during Nerd Downs throughout the season, because I watched the episodes as it was coming out. Horimiya is straight, not even rom-com. It's straight a romance anime about this couple hooking up in their senior year.
But it's the most mature relationship we have seen unfold.
Like, it's about 17-year-olds, but it's the most authentic, least anime-ish writing in a romance anime I've ever seen. Like, it actually feels like what dating as an adult is like. What a mature person should strive for dating to
It has a light sprinkle of anime magic in there, but it is nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
It is something as like one of my favorite scenes from Horimiya. It was that what is our male protagonist here?
Miyazaki.
Miyazaki is in a place where
Miyamura.
I'm sorry, Miyamura is in a state of like, she's just being nice to me. Yeah. Like, this doesn't matter. And there's a point where Hori comes up and is like, what do you mean, stupid? It's like,
and that's like episode 2.
That was episode 2. We've been hanging out. We've been cooking together. We've been washing laundry together.
You're my brother's best friend.
My brother loves you.
The plot of Horimiya, which again is part of this anime magic Aldo's describing, is the smart popular girl in school falling in love with a guy with long black hair and tattoos, which I always when I was growing up I always assumed that's what this type of girl liked anyways. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up when like emo and scene girls were coming up. You know what I mean? Like, I always assumed that's what was coming up. So, but in Japan it's weird to have tattoos. It's weird to have piercings. So this loser in the back of the classroom, this person that she barely knows by name, that's been in all of her classes all through high school, is actually like this guy that outside of school has so much anxieties and this need to express himself that he has a bunch of tattoos and a bunch of piercings, to the point that he's a cool nerd. So when she sees him out of school, like with his tattoos and piercings, she falls in love right away. And I'm just like, that's the
like, he's cool.
That's the cheapest way to fall in love. Yeah. Like, I feel like the setup is the most corny, like
that. It's the anime magic.
Yeah, that's the most anime magic-y part. But once they actually start dating, it's really trusting your partner. It feels like what happened, what it was like to be like 17 and like hooking up for the first time. It's awkward, it's weird, you're obsessed with this person, but you also don't know what it means to be in love with the person.
And you don't even have to take it that young. It's stuff that you would see like in the beginning of any normal, natural relationship. You trust yourself enough to come and eat or to do something for someone, or even just to go out of your way to do something for her brother, her little brother, or do things like that. Like, don't worry about it, we're good, I'll wash your clothes here, blah blah blah. Something.
Love you, babe. I'll do this for you.
Yeah, like. Exactly. And I always gripe about the thing about why are they in high school? Why are they in high school? Like, this story, they could have been in high school, or they could have been like 50s, in their 50s. Like, it wouldn't have mattered.
It's so
what
cute.
Age they
like
are.
It's such like the awkwardness, the shyness of being in a relationship in the beginning. Like, you're obsessed with this person, but you're also like super awkward and weird around them.
If anything, the surrounding characters are the ones that are portraying the infancy around relationships.
Oh yeah. Because like all the other relationships around them are like kind of toxic, like, are about the wrong motivation. They're not real with each other. And that just shows you even more that the relationship that is Horimiya, which is Hori-san and Miyamuru, yeah, I think that's his name, whatever, is that they're like oddly mature together, which is cool. It's really neat because come the third week of our Valentine's romance rom-com theme month, you didn't like Toradora. And I feel worse about something like Toradora coming away from this episode, which makes me feel bad.
Toradora.
It's the one with the short girl and the guy that looks like a mean thug.
Yes. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. It's just
Toradora has like the opposite effect of a lot of things we've seen, where like it feels like the good parts aren't elongated enough and the bad parts are like too long.
enough, yes.
Yeah, so Toradora is like 25 episodes, something like that. But most of it is really, really boring. Like really, really boring.
And it's character heavy. And all these fucking characters, at some point, they're fucking hooking you, but they let it reel. They just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, or it goes on forever that nothing even happens, because again we have to go back to our protagonist. It is exhausting to watch, but not as exhausting as like Code Geass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's because you want something to happen there. Like the one
I think
girl,
it's so funny you
girl,
like Toradora more than Code Geass. I think that's hilarious, dog.
The one girl that cooks cookies for like the other dude, but then that dude doesn't fucking do anything because the girl is like gaslighting him into like being with her.
Right.
You know, it does the same anime, right?
No, that's Toradora. You're thinking of Horimiya.
Oh fuck.
You're thinking
No, I'm thinking of Toradora, right? I'm talking about Toradora.
Oh, are you? Because that's also a similar scene to Horimiya. In Horimiya, the girl with the green hair and the glasses, who's the nerd secretary part of the
But then in Toradora,
what happened?
Something else happens in Toradora. I can't remember.
Anyways, in Toradora, the plot is that like this rich girl is living alone in an apartment in a giant loft that's next doors to some shitty ass fucking apartment where this kid who's actually a really good son and student, like he cleans a lot, he does his homework, he does his chores, is living in the shitty ass apartment with his mom's essentially like a bar hostess, kind of like she's kind of a stripper at the bar. Like
I think she's a bartender.
She's not a tender though. She's like a bottle girl who also hangs out with you at the table.
Yes, you're right.
But they basically create a plot that they're gonna hook each other up with each other's best friends. But it's obvious from episode 1 they're both in love with each other. So we spend 25 episodes waiting for them both to realize that they love each other, and that like all that other bullshit that came 24 episodes before didn't even matter.
I remember. Yes. Toradora is when that guy likes another girl and this girl likes another guy, and they're both trying to wing themselves into these relationships.
They're wingmanning each other.
They're wingmanning each other into these relationships, and they figured out that they love each other instead.
Right. And like,
yes.
So the only good episodes, at least in this watch through for me, like I grew up with Toradora, don't get me wrong, but where I'm at right now in this watch through, the only good parts were like the last 4 episodes where they elope and it gets spicy. You know what I mean? Like they elope together. They realize that they're actually in love. They have a pretend wedding where they're practicing how to give their vows to each other, which is super spicy. Like a lot of stuff like that. Like it feels super crazy. But it took 22, 23 episodes of absolutely nothing to get to that point. Like really, really, really. Like it's a whole lot of a very generic anime that really makes you feel nothing.
But it's better on Toradora. I mean, it's better on Horimiya for sure.
Yeah.
Like
that's the thing. Like the thing about Toradora is that it almost feels like it needs the 25, 26 episodes to make you feel something about these characters. Once you get to the end, like the spicy part feels extra spicy because you've been with these characters so much. Toradora tries to give you almost very light spicy instances, but you barely know these characters because you have less time with them. So it's just a matter of preference at that point. Like it's the opposite effect almost.
It is.
And so that was the end of our Valentine's month. So then we spent the whole month of March just kept catching up with friends. That's when we watched season 3 of Yu Hakusho because we missed hanging out with Roby. We watched Attack on Titan season 3 with my girl Karen, and P&A wanted to come, but she had some scheduling difficulties.
There were some conflicts with the scheduling with the grandmas of Saeed Mendes, and unfortunately she couldn't come in. So I did come in and represent us both. We watched season 3. I'm glad
it's the last Wit Studio season of Attack on Titan.
Yes, which is great.
Yeah.
Amazing animation. What else can you say about Attack on Titan? Attack on Titan is like talking about Spider-Man right now.
Well, I think I brought up really great points about how season.
You always bring up really.
Thank you,
points.
Fred. Season 2 brought up a fuck ton of questions. Season 2 of Attack on Titan is really hard to watch without being like, I'm just gonna keep watching on, because season 2, it feels short. It feels very, very confusing because you have no idea why anything's happening. Season 3 is like 24 episodes just flushing out all of season 2. It's great to watch. It's groundbreaking television, and while watching season 3, you really feel like this. We are really lucky to be living in a modern epic, as we were describing earlier. And it just sucks that I'm not saying the studio map of production's bad, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Wit Studio really knew what they were doing.
And I fucking get you, dude. The animation compared with Wit and Mappa here, it is a little bit of a letdown for what we know on the fourth season, but Wit's here, season 3 delivers stupendously. They do answer most of the questions we have from season 2, but it also rises up like this double genocide Holocaust theme, where even like imagine a scenario where the Jews were like, "Oh fuck our genocide, we're gonna genocide you guys."
Yeah, that's the plot to Attack on Titan.
You know,
that's the plot.
And it's just crazy, man, crazy.
It is, and I think that's crazy how like immediately after that we finished Fruits Basket, and then we watched Paprika, and Paprika is a movie.
It's a conversation piece.
It's the same director as Tokyo Godfathers and something else. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
It really is. It's Inception. It's Inception, but came out 10 years before Inception.
Inception, yeah.
And like it's, don't get me wrong, it's still an anime, so it has these Japanese isms about it, but it really is like the first time you watch Inception and the craziness and like the conversation piece that it was, that's what Paprika really is.
And the reason I call it a conversation piece, because just like something you would buy like at an art gallery or something you would see at a museum or something like that.
Yeah.
If you're speaking in the context of like being an animal watcher, if you come across another fellow anime enjoyer, and you're like, have you watched Paprika? I've watched Paprika. Paprika, because Paprika is not about the plot. It's about the absolutely visual trip the fuck out.
I figured out why Paprika was also important to when it comes to BetweenNerds podcast lore, is that like the third episode we ever did included 3 movies, which included Perfect Blue, which was the first hit by Satoshi Kon, which he's the guy that made Tokyo Godfathers and Paprika. So we become enamored with anime film directors at a certain point, because like we've seen Satoshi Kon several times. We've seen Shinkai, Ghibli, all those, and they're amazing. We love them so much, and it's crazy how you see like the like dive into madness almost, because Satoshi Kon has this weird obsession with the tragedy of being a broken 18-year-old. And all of his films are that. All of his films are having this broken childhood, to the point that like it's a retrospection on once you're an adult, what do you do with that? And the thing about Satoshi Kon is all his films have like this what if the backbone of society collapsed almost? Like, what if we no longer trusted our own dreams and our own psychoses? What if with Perfect Blue, I don't believe my own mental health enough to understand that I'm being followed by someone? Correct.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like the theme behind Paprika and something like Perfect Blue, it's and people live their own reality all the time. People believe people are bad. People believe people are good. People believe, you know, whatever you want to believe. It reminds me of this instance, bro, when I was with a little cousin of mine. And when I say little, he was 16 at the time that I was 24, which, you know, it's relatively still a small child mind.
Yeah.
And his upbringing wasn't the best, but like we are in Home Depot and he sees a crowbar, a luminescent glow in the dark crowbar. And he's like, what the fuck is this even made for? You can't even sneak up into someone. I'm like, that's not the point
Of a crowbar.
of a crowbar. You're supposed to open up, you know, crates and put stuff apart with a crowbar.
Yeah.
And here, like, in Perfect Blue, you grow up with a certain version of what you see as reality and Paprika as well.
Yeah.
You know, and it is so... It is like A24 movie.
Yeah.
If I'm not trying to be tacky, I'm not trying to be a dude here.
I'm literally wearing an A24 hat. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree completely.
You know?
Yeah.
Did you my tweet?
Uncut Gems season 2 just got announced.
Yeah.
Or it's an Adam
different
Sandler.
project.
It's an Adam Sandler film with the Fafney brothers.
Mm-hmm. I put up a Twitter. Do you remember that? I mean, a post on Twitter I retweeted. Do you remember that scene in SpongeBob where they're cavemen's?
No,
No.
I don't remember.
Anyways.
You did that today, but I was out in Dill City. I was out in the field working all day.
Yeah. You were looking at some rye.
Yeah, I was looking at some rye, some alfalfa, all that.
But paprika.
Paprika.
He was not looking at paprika, but he watched paprika. But paprika is really, it's really a what is the artist that we compared it to? Dali.
Yeah,
Dali.
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali. His type of art, you can see it throughout this anime.
He's Spanish, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's really good. Paprika, it has to be one of my top. You must watch Paprika.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I did not come out of the week feeling like that. Which is good. Like, I understand why somebody would say that. Like, I'm not saying, oh, that's a fucking whack-ass take, although, like, boo, take it back. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I completely understand why somebody would say that. But I think Paprika is something that almost feels like a pat on the back to people that already watch anime. Because it's such a... It's just like... It feels like an original work that is made entirely out of anime generic tropes. That it feels like pat yourself on the back. Like you were able to follow this to completion because you followed this type of medium already.
I love Emerson because he is one of my person level of what I would introduce to somebody that doesn't know anime.
Yeah.
So like Emerson, I could be like, watch Paprika and tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
Emerson,
I see that.
Emerson's almost like a what would you call it? A
Blank
standard.
slate.
A standard to
Oh, he's a bellwether.
yes, to what I would consider a person that is not into anime, but is not close-minded enough to not watch an anime.
Right.
You know? So if I were to tell, hey, bro, you know,
No, I get it.
smoke some recreational.
I love Paprika. I think it's so good. I can't wait to watch Tokyo Godfathers, if anything. If anything, Paprika gets me excited to be able to watch Tokyo Godfathers and compare like all of Satoshi Kon's works as a whole. Because he tragically died of something like pancreatic cancer or something like that at like in his late 50s or early 60s, which is fairly young. That's kind of a big deal. But we're already talking about this month. Yeah, go for it.
And this is the weird part about like these season recaps.
We're already talking about something that happened 2 weeks ago.
Correct. And with that said, we come into our April Madness month. You know, we talked about haiku. We talked about hanebado. Hanebado has to be something that I would also recommend to people.
So haiku pretty much is the standard for what it means to be a sports anime.
Correct.
Like it teaches you the sport, is excellent animation,
It's about the
excellent
sport.
character building, excellent character design. Like it really makes you not only enthused for these characters to accomplish this goal, but you feel more about the background and their motivation. This setter's really analytical, and he's shorter and less physically gifted than our center. And if he beats us, then that means that maybe gift isn't everything. And if you really work your way to the top, then you can be one of the best volleyball players. And like you feel that kind of, because like it's super corny. Don't get me wrong, but it feels good to get that backdrop, especially over something as detailed, where they will have 20-minute episodes that are about one serve, that are about one like volley in volleyball, as opposed to something like Hanebado, where Hanebado has this almost groundbreaking like animation style that's not even talked about. Groundbreaking animation style that's not even talked about, where it's, as opposed to it's certain 3D figures being done in 3D CGI over a 2D background, it's the opposite. It's always a 3D background with really bold, very detailed character models over a 3D landscape, which looks amazing.
And this is the decision we gripe about, in the opposite with Mappa taking over Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
And Haiku, I mean, you guys heard it 2 weeks ago. It is. I am excited to watch this. I've told Drew, I can't believe we hadn't touched the aspect of a sport anime before. I'm excited to have taken the initiative to make this a theme month.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I really want to watch Captain Tsubasa, which is the soccer anime, old school anime. Yeah. I want to talk about the boxing anime. I think it's called like a Step Back or
something no Ippo,
or something like that.
Shoji no Ippo or something like that.
I know one of the most like famous anime is the baseball one too.
Right. The Prince of Tennis is really famous. Right. There's the basketball one about the six man that's really famous. There's a lot of sports anime that we haven't touched on.
And it's a really good different pool you can get into,
because we've never gotten into it. We've never gotten into like this subgenre of anime before.
Because we can bring what is it, Roblox? Megalobox.
Megalobox, yeah.
Megalobox, which is a sports anime in a way. You know, we don't have to stay with a non-fantastical, because there's a lot of fantastical sports too.
Right. It's sci-fi.
Yeah, sci-fi.
It's sci-fi, yeah. And that might be about it, because Hanebado is just badminton.
And great animation.
It's just badminton in an innovative animation style.
We talked off mic about we never bring up the sound direction of an anime.
Hanebado, yeah.
Did you hear my badminton sound effects on that episode?
No.
That just sounded great.
Oh.
That just sounded so good. That was great sound direction.
I think that's hilarious. But that might be it.
That might be it.
Again, like, this is the episode where we're especially taking in feedback when it comes to changing how this podcast works, or what you guys want to see, not just content for us to talk on. This is where we're taking recommendations how to change the platform as a whole. So if you have any recommendations, hit us up on social media. It's at BetweenNerds. That's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, absolutely anything.
We're getting a Discord. We're getting a Facebook soon. We'll start posting in that. YouTube, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell.
The last time we're ever gonna do the last time we're gonna do a nonprofit giveaway for the time being is this month. So if you want to help us donate to the Autism Society of El Paso, please use hashtag Nerds for Autism in your result tweet, Instagram post, or YouTube comment. And not only that, we will enter you into our April giveaway, and we'll get you some hand-picked nerd shit.
And it won't be the last time, but it won't be the last time we use the hashtag. But once we have enough nerds like you guys listening to us, and maybe we can bring it even outside a local radius or a local perimeter, but we can extend it nationally and worldwide. We'll try to donate to people, but if we don't get your feedback, we won't be able to do that. So let's bring the hashtags back as soon as possible. And We are gonna work for a nerd down for your next episode, which will be on Free Season 1. We kind of stepped on our dicks this week, and we said we were gonna watch Season 1, Season 2. We were into Season 2, but we just want to get you guys' feedback if you guys want us to talk about Season 2.
Right. So y'all aren't getting. You're getting free content. I almost said you're not going to get free content. But we're not going to make you work for it. So we are just going to be watching Season 1 of Free Iwatobi High School, which is the swimming anime, which is, again, part 3 of our April Madness month.
I'm excited for our last week, bro. The ice skating one.
I honestly, I don't know what it is, but I've heard better things about Yuri on Ice than I have Free Iwatobi High School. But Free is apparently extremely popular and has 3 seasons and a movie. So I don't know what that's about.
We might have bones to pick about that one, but I'm excited for Yuri on Ice. After that, we have no idea what we're watching.
No idea. We'll probably do polls.
We'll do polls and see if we can get something we can watch this month on Twitter, Facebook, and Discord, or maybe even Reddit. Who knows? But please like us on all our social media. No more hashtags. No, not a lot of housekeeping notes.
But
anymore.
yes, for the end of the month.
But yes, for the end of the month. Drew, this has been Between Nerds. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't. Thank you for appreciating us for another season of Between Nerds podcast. It's another 30 episodes. It's crazy to think about. It's absolutely insane just sitting here thinking about like all the things we've talked about over the past 30 weeks.
I'm sorry. We've been thinking about other things we can do locally with you guys. So hopefully we get to do some local stuff. Maybe rent out a movie theater so you guys can watch an anime movie.
Right.
Or some shit. You know? So.
This has been Between
Nerds.
Between Nerds.